Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to the Mandem talk. We're here, man. Wednesday, you know what I'm saying, to no Champions League, but we're here anyway, regardless. You know what I was watching the Champions League last night. I was like, yo, man, Tottenham are playing ahead of us, man. It's dark, man. It's dark. Yeah, bro. It's dark, man. But we're here anyway, man. Big up everyone who's locked in right now. Big up Rants in the building. How you doing, Rants? All blessed?
Come on, bro. All good, man. And yeah, Tottenham, bro. Could have been, should have been us. And they got an easy-ish group as well, bro.
Easy, bro. You feel me? So, yeah, man. Big up to you, Rants and Roni. We got Nuruddin in the building, man. Nuruddin, how you doing, man? Everything blessed? You're on mute, I think. You're on mute, bro.
Yeah, of course. You know what happened, didn't it? And I wish it was a better week. But yeah, we try to help people, man. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
That's
man. Big up to you.
But big up, love to everybody. Yeah, I watched the Real Madrid Marseille game last night.
Deserby
ball. And yeah, they played well. They didn't sit back. They didn't defend at the edge of their box. Yep. Real Madrid have a better quality, but they attacked. They went for Real Madrid. And I think they were a bit unlucky. I'm not to compare the chances that they created. It was a good game of football to watch.
100%, man. Like, and what pieces does he have in his team? You know what I'm saying? I've seen some Kodogby. I don't know how old he is that right now. You know what I mean? Højbjerg. I've seen Emerson Palmieri, is it, from West Ham? I see some players. I'm like, yo, man, Pavard. You get me? Like, these are players that just been brought in. You know what I mean? He don't really have all of his tools and his players that he has, but yeah, you can still see coaching, you know, there. And this is after getting rid of that. Was it that Koenig kid? Who was it in midfield? Him and Rabiot.
And I think Rabiot got into some shit as well, and I think they booted him as well, didn't they?
Yeah, you get me. So you know what I mean. After all of them as well, he's still doing it. Aubameyang up front. I mean, we've got a Sesko who's meant to be, you know, 22 and fit and ready. You know what I mean? And then you got Aubameyang turning man and getting into positions. And I was like, yo, man, if he can do that with that, there's no excuses for a team that spent money, man. You know what I mean? There's absolutely no excuses, man. Coaching, because Xabi Alonso yesterday, like, he's changed a few things around over there. Yeah, cool, he got away with a penalty. But, like, it's mad to think, bro. Like, you know, I think the coaching element we've actually all forgotten, bro. Like, we're looking at certain things within Man United and we're like, whoa, this is happening there, this and that. But ultimately, bro, like, this manager, Ruben Amorim, is failing right now to not only get results, but fundamentals, man. The fundamentals.
He's not doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, the bare minimum. The bare minimum we're not seeing. And I'm just like, that's crazy, man. Like, and then he comes out and then double down. And you know what the maddest thing is now? He's actually like taking a piss out of us now. You know, beforehand, it was a bit humble. He said to himself, you know what, man? I'm seeing a guy who's understanding his mistakes and that. But my man is so arrogant right now. Like, you know, like, even you don't think it was with Ten Hag? Maybe it's just because I didn't really understand him. And no disrespect, but his English weren't strong, innit? So maybe, like, I was angry at him for different ways, innit? Like, man spoke about Harry Potter and that. But you see when man speaking probably better English than a lot of us here, you get me? The way he speaks English is perfect. And, like, it's the way he kind of coming very arrogant now, bro. Like, he's...
It's mad patronizing, bro. It's not...
Yeah.
It's not coming across very well, innit? Like, it's not at all, bro. So, it's one of them ones where hopefully they put us out of our misery sooner rather than later, bro, because the season is very much still alive. Do you know what I'm saying? And even if we do lose to Chelsea, the season is very much still alive. Do you know what I'm saying? If you let this go all the way to the international break, or you let it go to November, like he did last time, then it could be another season that is beyond being able to salvage, bro. And we don't need that.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. I see you seeing the Agbonlahor thing, but even I don't need Agbonlahor.
What did Gabby say? I ain't seen it.
He's saying about, like, how he's basically he's wanted to be sacked and that. Like, let me just play the clip now here. One second.
He wants to be sacked. It's Ruben Amorim. I can read body language. I can read the way managers speak, the way he's talking, the formation. I'm going to stick with. If he wants anything different, you get rid of the manager. Who speaks like that? If I'm in Manchester United hierarchy, I'm like, is this guy serious? He will be sacked this season, I promise you.
And you know him because you did your coaching
badges with him,
badges with him. So is he stubborn? Is he? Do you see him changing at all? Because surely he's walking into being sacked.
I really don't see him changing, and he keeps saying the same things. He'll change the personnel, won't change the formation. He'll change one of the centre halves every single game.
Players make formations.
He's had since November. We're coming up to like a year in 2 months' time. I just don't see it getting any better. It looks like the players are a bit lost under him. I think it's going to get worse and worse for Manchester United. And a manager, the way he's speaking, I'm sorry, but like, look at Rangers. They're talking about Russell Martin should be sacked. Look at Sheffield United. Go and get rid of the manager straight away.
Well, Chris is back.
Yeah, Chris Wilder's
already exactly. So I just think Amorim looks to me like he wants his 12 million payoff, and then let me go back to Sporting Lisbon. I look at his body language. I look at the way he's speaking. No manager who's had a couple of decent seasons at Sporting Lisbon. He's speaking like he's Pep Guardiola. No, like he's like, you know, if they don't like the tactics, then you know you change the man. You take my hands,
bro. It's facts.
It wasn't good enough today. We're going to do better next week. I just don't think he gets how big a football club he's trying to manage.
Yeah, brother, he's talking like he's the Don, you know.
Don.
It's crazy the way he's talking. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, like man speaking like that's what I'm saying to you, bro. The ego of someone who's been a Pep Guardiola, but then the ability to coach is like, come on, bro. Like you ain't that guy, man. You ain't that guy, bro. And that's the craziest thing about it all. Like man speaking like I don't want to change, bro. Like who are you? Like
bro, but you're factually one of the worst managers in the history of this whole football club, and you're talking like that, bro. So it shows that man's got no self-awareness, or like the arrogance is so mad that he doesn't even realize where he is, bro. Like, because it's crazy. You would think that this situation would humble him, but it's like he's doubling down.
You know what it is?
To be fair, go ahead, sorry.
No, go for it.
Yeah, listen, to be fair to him, most coaches have to be arrogant. They have to be delusional. They have to be that. That is the trait. When you are in charge of that, managing that many egos in a football club, that's toxic. You have to have that kind of bravado. Now, you have to back it up with your coaching ability. You have to back it up with results and good football. But certain coaches are. But I genuinely do think everybody can see that he's struggling, and everybody can understand and see what Jim now is coming out with, saying this is a top 4 team. This has never been a top 4 team, man. So stop the waffle. He's just chatting macker as well. And then today the finances come out, and now they're like, oh, we've made profits and all of this bullshit. We know what the problem of the football club is, because it can't have just been all on Jose. It can't have been all on Van Gaal. It can't have been just all on Oli, even though he shouldn't really have had the contract. We all got gassed. It can't have been all Eric Ten Hag. There's something rotten at the core of this football club where coaches and players fail. And we have to accept that as United fans. That is to be objective. That is part of it as well. He's just a rabbit caught in the headlights. So why, this is the thing. What made INEOS and Glazers think bringing another guy from another league is going to fix it? Where Liverpool and other clubs have said, nah, mate, we're not changing. We have to change the whole way we play. Look at Alonso. Do you think Alonso can go there with his 5-5-3 wall? Bullshit?
No,
he can't.
Hell no.
Because certain football clubs, they have a standard. No, this is how we play. If you look at the history of Manchester United, they played with wingers. That's what we're known for. Even when I speak to some of my neighbours, even the war times, after the wartime, United wingers. Wingers. Before even the Busby Babes, entertainment and wingers. So this is the actual essence what we lost in this football club. And we have to accept that. And we have to also accept that as fans, we've been hoodwinked. And in turn, the standards have been lowered. I know the fans are not in. The ones in the stadium have a responsibility. 100%.
Big responsibility.
Yeah, big responsibility. But Saeed, we go. Rance, you've been there. You've been there, King. Like all of us
but we get battered and they'll still be singing the manager's name, bro. Like,
yes,
that's not on.
Because of the conditioning to say, this is every coach that comes in, is he going to be the next Fergie? What does the club do, Rance? We know what they do. Oh, Fergie has met the new guy. Fergie sat down, had a meal with Ten Hag. Fergie was there with Oli. Fergie's there with Amorim. Like, all of this is to create this condition of stability. That's what we are as a football club. And we look at the history of our football club. only 3 coaches have won the league. Which is for the amount of league titles we've won, it's extraordinary. You don't see that in world football, by the way. If we compare us to all the big football clubs in world football. And another thing, you've got me now reading through financial effing report. I don't want to read. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not. But I'm trying to see where they're lying to me, where they're spinning the BS. Why should I be? I should just be going to the games and we talk about the tactics. Oh, United played well today. Actually, this player is doing well. This player has improved a little bit more. Actually, you know what? We can do you at Old Trafford, Liverpool. You know what? Chelsea, we've got this. We're going to get you. But I don't. At the end, I watch a pile of shit and I have to go around the city with my hood up. But even when it's not raining, because I don't want people in cars beeping me and chasing after me and going, This is what it is, especially winning a derby. And to me, the players, he said it against Grimsby, and the players are gone. Because the way they played on Saturday, on Sunday, nobody can tell me that these are players who are trying for a manager or trying to...
Yeah, but he threw them under the bus against Grimsby anyway.
Exactly. So, it's his fault. It's his fault.
He threw them under the bus. He said, yo, the players X, Y, Z. And then he's come out in the press conference after the Man City game saying, it's not the system, it's the players' attitude. So he's constantly throwing them under the bus and he expects them to perform for him. Like, that don't even make no sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Ron, by the way. I don't want you to take this the wrong impression because I've been watching your content for like almost a decade now, innit, Rand? And this is why I actually fell in love with, well, if you want to call it a why, I don't care. This is why I fell in love with your content because you're honest. You are honest when you give your analysis, innit?
Yeah.
The thing I don't agree with is like, throughout the decade I've been watching you, Saeed and Nuruddin, you, man, have always said the exact same thing at the same point. Especially the reason why I like it is because in form content, in short form content, you've always been able to depict what players you think are good enough. You give your analysis as to why they're not good enough and they shouldn't be at the club. You called it from early on. Luke Shaw should not still be here. This is not a defense. Before I start my monologue, whatever, this is not a defense for Amorim. If you do not think he's the guy, that's fair enough. But what is not acceptable is that what Nuruddin said. United fans have allowed the level at United to drop down. If the manager is not good enough, that's one thing. But there's players that have been at this club who've got numerous managers sacked, who you know have not been good enough, who are still at this club and are part of the leadership, core system.
Yeah.
I've known for a very long time, Maguire's not good enough. We've all agreed on that. Known for a long time, you can't depend on Luke Shaw. He's still starting. I don't know, obviously, Saeed's near my age, Rance, and I know Nuruddin's a bit older than me, so you could very familiar with the starting squads at United. I don't know if it's ever been acceptable for someone like Patrick Dorgu to be the starting left wing back or left back for United, or for a Lenny Yoro, people saying generational, but a very good talented centre back to be starting for United, or a Kobe Mainoo who's had a break, but something across a 3-2-year span to show you that he's good enough to be starting for United. Or a 22-year-old striker who's never played a single minute in the Prem or has come from a Serie A league who's good enough to be starting at United. When different managers come in and these players are still here, it's a thing where like, the manager's dead, the next manager will get the best out of him. But the main thing of it is like each year that we keep getting rid of the manager, our standards are slipping down slowly. So when you're having people like Cavani, Ronaldo, Zlatan play up front for us, they don't get replaced. Martial goes, you then bring in a young striker. That young striker not shooting off. You then bring in another young striker. The pressure now mounts on him. Where's the senior striker? You think after finishing 15th, you would do a whole reboot. But instead of us being strong in our desire to say, you have to refinance this squad, you have to reinvest, we don't do that. We just go, okay, Sesko, Cunha, and Bremo, he's backed. Now it's on the manager. But if you all remember correctly, especially I'm saying rants inside, because I remember saying this over a year ago. I said this to both of you. I'm more focused on what goes out than what goes in. Pause. And then I've said we have not solved the midfield issue. You can get whatever world-class striker you want. You can get whatever winger you want. But if you still have Donkey Kong in goal and you still have that bagel midfield, you're still going to be back here in the next couple of months. And I said in pre-season, have you seen our first 10 games? If you do not sort out this transfer window, we'll be back in the same situation again. And since I've been listening to all of you guys since the season started, you talk sense. I can't argue somebody talking sense. But what I don't like is you're only covering one side of the picture, and the United fans are allowing this one side of the picture to dictate everything else. Talk about why we're here again. It's like being in an abusive relationship. turning around and saying, hit me again constantly. At some point, I'm not saying, let's just blame the players, but at some point, open your eyes and wake up. Like, there's lots and lots of issues around this team. And I'm not saying we can't do better than 15th, we can't do better than 14th, but it's like, I'm not getting angry until 10, 15 games in the Premier League. You know, I don't want to give that manager...
Why is that, though? Why is that?
Because, essentially, when he came in halfway through the season, I thought it was a bit silly to spend over £300 million on a manager who should have been sacked at the end of the FA Cup. You're trying to implement a system which none of these players ever seem to be capable of doing. The moment a manager sticks to his laurels, what always ends up happening is that he has to revert to type to what's comfortable for them. And then when it's comfortable for them, you might get a couple of results. And then there'll be like a shout from the fans saying, we want to see more attractive football, we want to see a style of play. Then when he tries to go back to doing that, the players have lost faith because he never stuck to his original plan, so they lose hope in him. Yeah. And then when he's trying to implement it, it's a bit too late because the players are like, well, you used to play like this way, we're not going back to your way. Now you've got players now you've got a manager sticking to the way he wants to play. And I can only see it for two reasons. One, he's not good enough to change, and he's egotistical. Or two,
which is a bad thing.
Yeah, which is the bad thing. It's a bad and a good thing, because when you're performing at that elite level, yeah, you have to have kind of arrogance. Sorry, like Harry Maguire, when you think I'm better than I am, Onana, I'm better than I am. You have to have the arrogance when you're playing at that level. The second thing, protection for himself. He probably doesn't want to be here because he's not being backed, and he knows this system. He could probably change the system and get better out the players. But if you do not give me the players, the prerequisite of me taking this job was that if we're getting a manager who doesn't play our style of football, we've never played in our history, yeah, we're going to get a mass overhaul. We haven't had a mass overhaul. The players that left last season weren't even here, other than Garnacho, that was part of that 15th finishing squad. So him sticking to the system, I'm not saying it's a big FU to the board or whatever. I can only see it as a protection, because his next job, he'll be like, I never changed my system, and those players I wasn't supported in the rest of the acquisitions. That's the only two ways I would like to look at it, and I choose to look at it the second way.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. When the manager first came in, he said categorically, yeah, I know that we don't have the possibilities, yeah, to be bringing in loads of players. He said it in one of his first press conferences. So he knew he wasn't going to get loads of players, because people were talking about the January window that he came in. Why didn't he get loads of players? He said, we don't have the possibility. He knew that. So this brother never thought he was going to come in and get 15 new players. He didn't think that, innit? But the bottom line is, no matter what kind of coach you are, yeah, you have to get the best out of what you have. That's how you determine a good coach. Doesn't matter. No manager goes into a team and has a team ready made for them. They don't. Even when Pep went into City, his first window, I think he bought 3 fullbacks. Yeah. Because he didn't have that. And a goalkeeper. Because he didn't have the team he wanted. Bruv, man don't have the team, innit? Like, this manager is failing badly, innit? So, yes, there are players at Manchester United here that shouldn't be here. I called out Luke Shaw years and years and years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Rashford
years ago.
I know you did.
Loads of these guys. People are only seeing the Luke Shaw thing now. But the bottom line is, if everyone's available, these men are not starting. Yes, Man United can get rid of these players. However, the reason why Luke Shaw's still here, the reason why Harry Maguire's still here, is because no one wants to pay these guys wages because the Glazers gave them too much money. So the current footballing people, I don't blame for that, bro. Because Harry Maguire asked us to pay him to leave last season, bro, or the season before with West Ham.
Yep.
I think that was before the Glazers came in. INEOS came in.
Yeah.
INEOS was here, but they weren't going to pay it off.
Yeah, because Glazers.
So they'll wait for his contract to finish. They'll let him go. They'll do the same.
They're talking about offering a new contract, Rance.
Yeah, but
no, that's not true.
Nah, I don't know about that.
No,
do you know what I mean? Bro, until that happens,
yeah,
he's leaving on a free, innit? Casemiro's leaving on a free at the end of this deal. Do you know what I'm saying? I think Ericsson left on a free. I believe Lindelof left on a free. So they're letting man run down their contracts, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. How many new contracts have they given out since they've come in?
Wait, can I ask though? Why?
Bruno, that's it.
Because I think Tax will agree with me this year. Or sorry, Tex will agree with me this year. Is fair enough. Contracts are running down. The guy who's come into the platform of Manchester United, he says he's a core Manchester United fan. Yeah, you want to go back to acting like one of the big clubs. I've just looked at when Jurgen Klopp took over in 2016, the team that they had
had
scrubs like Nathaniel Klein, Sacco, Moreno, Stephen Corker, Joe Flanagan, Benteke, Ings, Sinclair. These men weren't allowed to run down their contract. Fair enough.
The man went on 190.
No,
Go look at their contracts,
All of you.
Also, are they at the same level though as well? Let's be honest. Estrella, they're not at the same level, bro. Like,
I think the magnitude is different.
Come on, bro. The magnitude is different, bro, man.
The argument will be the finances.
I understand this point.
I understand. Grant said when Pep came into the team, he spent money on 3 wing backs or whatever.
Yeah, fullback and a goalie. The
information you won't hear, he spent over £150 million on 3 wing backs, on 3 defenders. If managers were so technically gifted, in terms of making what they've got work and it's been suitable, then you wouldn't need Pep spending almost over $1 billion. You wouldn't need.
He done that, and he still finished 3rd that season, I believe.
No.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is not a defense of the manager. I completely agree with you. If you're employed, I expect you to get the best out what you got. Yeah. But at the same time, 2 things can be right at the same time. These players have shown me. Doesn't matter what managers in place. Doesn't matter what systems.
But it's only the names that you're talking about. We agree with you, though, Estrella. The Harry Maguire and the Shaw, we agree with you. I don't think there's anyone else.
But they're not the reason why we're not winning games, because we've got enough players. They don't need to play.
We can go through the team and we can tell you right now. How are you buying what's his name? Mazraoui, who's a right back, and in whatever's happened, everyone's now comfortable playing him right centre back. When I know
right wing back, you mean?
No. We play 3 at the back, so he plays right centre. He plays right centre back.
Most of the time, he plays right centre back. Yes, because in this system, the right centre back does the right back job because they cover the wide areas.
Yeah.
I understand that, but square pegs in round hole. You're not to centre back.
I agree.
Just because you can play there doesn't mean I'm going to put you there.
Is that down to Mazraoui or is that down to the system?
Wait, we're accepting Mazraoui in that position because he's either better and more available than what we've got already. But I
don't want the system, bro.
He shouldn't be there, but we don't want this system.
Yeah, bro.
Luke Shaw, because he played half decent last season in left centre back role, somehow now he's acceptably good enough. No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me land. If United were playing the position of, if United were playing a 4-3-3, Luke Shaw would have been playing. But he's only got that kind of grace.
Maguire. Harry Maguire be playing. Back. He wouldn't be playing either.
Yeah, so he's only got that grace because we're playing this system. Hence, therefore, it's on the manager. You see what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Listen, don't get me wrong. Luke Shaw, Maguire, them man should not be
Everything you're saying, I 100%
agree, bro. I agree.
Right, can I ask as well? When people say, "Oh, Luke Shaw is not good enough," you've got Aiden Heaven. We purchased him for about £1 million from Arsenal. Yeah. What makes you think on God's green earth this guy is ready to be even being thinking about starting for United? Please, because
I'll be honest. Sometimes you can't look at age of a player and experience of a player, because nobody would have thought that Lewis Skelly at Arsenal was going to be first choice left back for them last season. Based off what? Like, I don't even know if Lewis Skelly went out on loan and done anything before. I'd never heard of the guy.
No. Do you know why it's different? Lewis Skelly, I agree with the point you just made because it's a valid point. Nobody would have thought that. I wouldn't have thought that. I'm not going to say I'm one of them guys I've been watching him since he was 16, something like that. No. But the difference is you're going into an environment where it's like back in the old day at United, where it's like you have first team situated players to enable a young element to come in and take care of him with the pressure. The pressure is not him.
To a certain degree, yes, but Arsenal don't really have like old pros that have won stuff.
No.
They don't.
It's not about winning stuff, but that back line that he's coming into, that left wing back role, it's not detrimental to the benefit of Arsenal. If you get what I'm saying.
No, because the system's so good, it's not. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The system.
It's a system.
The system is so good, cool, fair enough. But my argument is also that the players are so comfortable with that system. They finished twice sets and more than.
No, you're true. He's coming into a settled team, which helps, of course.
But then when you get someone like Kobe Mainoo, you get Aiden Heaven, or you get Patrick Dorgu, you're coming into United and going into your position expected to be the advancement of us week in. That is how young players are bedded into first team football.
But I look at Kubasi, bro. He's playing in the high line. Oh, hold on a minute. Kubasi's playing in the high line in Hansi Flick. Like you would look at that and go, that's detrimental to the kid, but no, because it's in a settled team where the manager and the philosophy is that strong. He can fit in that style. Like we're only looking. Don't conflate the two issues, bro. don't look at the environment versus the ability
I think it's
of the
still
player.
the coaching, bro. Because if you look at Man United, for instance, if you isolate it, and you say back four, Mazraoui experience, the lit experience. Lenny Euro, even though he's young, he's experienced. This is his 3rd season in adult football. So if you put a youth next to them three, it's not that bad. If it's in a structured back four in a team that knows how to defend, you can get away with that. Do you know what I'm saying? But you can't get away with it because nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah. But Juventus sold Huijsen, by the way. By the way, Juventus sold Huijsen, by the way, They sold him to Bournemouth, So you could look at Huijsen and think, yo, man, like, why did he leave Juventus, bro? What's going on with him, bro? Like, he developed in a good team.
Anymore, man. They can't develop anybody.
That's not the point, though, Nuruddin, man. He came out of there, you know what I mean, and developed. So at the end of the day, but don't look at the player, bro. Look at what he's going into.
I think that's very
100%.
Yeah. People do this thing about other teams done this, other teams done that.
But did you know Huijsen before that? You didn't know Huijsen.
Saeed, again, listen to what I'm saying, is disingenuous because everyone knows when you come to United, there's a different type of pressure and a different type of spotlight. That everything that's a general consensus for everyone on this.
I don't buy into that, man. I don't buy into this pressure.
You have to.
No, listen,
I don't buy into it.
Look at Elanga. Look at Elanga when he was here compared to when he went to Nottingham Forest.
Elanga wasn't good enough, man, and he got out swear and done his thing, bro. That was it. At United wasn't good enough.
When he was here, he was in a pressure cooker where it was like, you have to. Is that almost like Real Madrid?
No, I wasn't looking at Elanga. He has to make it. Did anyone look at Elanga? Think you got to make
it? His name was trending. Let's be real.
Oh,
go ahead, you come in, bro. You come in. I'll go.
Yeah, you come in, Texino, man.
Yeah, I mean, post Fergie though, most of the youngsters who broke through were in the midst of chaos. It weren't in no honeymoon period or there was no process.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're thrown right into the midst of it. You look at Rashford, for example, brother. No one even knew his name. The only thing I heard about Rashford before was, I think it was the week before, he was on the bench against Watford, and I remember the commentator mentioning something about him being lightning quick, and that was it. Apart from that, he took his chance. Same thing with Martial. Martial on his debut, when he first come in, took his chance. Jesse Lingard, when he was in the squad, he was a consistent performer. So it's one of those, isn't it? Now, with youngsters, even if we're talking about other clubs, bro, I always think it's an anomaly situation anyways, isn't it? It's just like it's circumstantial, isn't it? It's like it's never just a walk through honeymoon period. I was behind Bex. I was watching Bex. Bex put me through and I'm in now. Lamine Yamal did not have no one to look up to at Barcelona. I know he's one of the best talents we've seen in God knows how long, but he didn't have no one to look up to. You look at Ansu Fati before that, the one who had the 10 before that, he burst onto the scene, shining, went down. So with the youngsters, listen, that's a different conversation. But going into Ruben Amorim, bro, it's the same point every single goddamn week. Like, I know Saeed was singing a song in the car park, but it should go something like this. Ruben Amorim. Next week will be the same again. The badge is going through the Stretford end, right into the ground. Ruben Amorim. Wow. That's about it. Next week will be the same again.
I'll just come in. I'll come in. There are times that we would like to compare ourselves to other football clubs, but genuinely we can't. We're not run like other football clubs. And that's why I always say we're a brand. We are a brand because the brand pays money. And that's what it is. So when we compare ourselves to Liverpool, compare ourselves to Pep, that's where I agree and disagree with a lot of the things that are being said. But to get the fans or to get the coach has to show something. Pep showed something, even though he finished. It was goal difference, by the way, Rance. He finished with Louis van Gaal. It was first season was goal difference. And they had a really good team as well, City, because they won the league the season before that with my guy who was at Malaga, also named Pellegrini. So at the end of the day, everything you look at it, and they had a really good spine, Aguero, Company, De Bruyne, all these guys were there, if I'm not mistaken. They had good players, Sterling and all of these type of players. So the biggest thing, maybe Sterling went when Pep was there, but I can never compare myself. I can never compare our football club because none of these football clubs, 32% of them are traded in a stock exchange. I don't compare myself to any of these football clubs because when we buy a player, we do it on book value, and we sign the length of the contract. So that's why, Rams, where you were saying we let people go at the end when they finish their contracts. And Saeed, for you to say Maguire being offered a new contract, it's not true. It's to get it out to soften the blow. They get it out to get it out there, and they look at certain reactions. The club, the way it's moving, Harry Maguire's whole thing has been transformed. His image has been transformed. So for that, they can offer him a new contract. He's one of these part of the leadership and all of that BS. So what the biggest thing I say is that just we need to be careful when we compare ourselves to other football clubs. The other football clubs are run by football people who are interested in what's on the pitch. The reason why we find ourselves where we are is because the majority of the people, whether it's INEOS or Glaze, they don't give a damn where we finish. They're not hurting like we hurt. They don't give a damn. There to them is spreadsheets and business, and that's how all it is. That is all it is. Ruben Amorim has never been good enough, and I said it from the day dot. That's why I wasn't getting gassed, and I always said, give me De Zerbi, he plays in the Prem. Give me Iraola, he graves in the Prem. And when Saeed was talking up Hans Flick, I was like, maybe that guy I would take, because I know his coaching acumen. What he did winning a treble is not easy. Winning a treble with Bayern Munich is not easy. With a level of pressure and what it takes, the prestige it takes. So at the end of the day, we are where we are now. And for me, we can't just scapegoat Amorim, because there's a consequences and the people who bought him here for him to fail miserably. And by the way, the games that we were lost last season, he also, if we're going to quote him, we're going to quote him throughout the last season. 100% agree, Rance. He said we can't do what other clubs are doing. We have to, because I listened to everything, all of the interviews, I listened to it. He also said that after we were losing game after game, and I think Bournemouth battered us again after another season. I think it was 3-0 at Old Trafford. We got battered. He said, the club have told me to start now, so we're not changing from the. So the club and him agreed to that he is going to not change his philosophy, not try to get results, and he's going to try to develop the way he wants to develop, because that's the plan they agreed on. Now,
they believed in him, and rightly so. They gave him they gave him those instructions, but they didn't expect him to be so pathetic. So
pathetic, yeah.
Well, this is what I'm saying to you, sir. There's a bit that comes into when you do your due diligence in it, and especially when you've got
research,
a young coach. Yeah, you got a young coach. But the big thing for me is that everybody, the guy who said, listen, his squad is not compatible with the players that we have, unless you're going to make significant changes. Sporting Lisbon, even in that level of league, sold 14 players. He had 15 or something like 16 new players. Yes, you could say that it's the financing, and majority of them actually were on 20. You know what I mean? We bought them,
and also he brought players. There were players like Nuno Mendes in the youth team that he had access to, bro. It's not the same project.
Of course, 100%. I understand that, but what I'm saying to you is that everybody understands. If you're going to say we're coming in, we're in charge of this football structure, and we are bringing Manchester back into Manchester, and this is the best in class, and you get an advice from your director of football at that acting time, and you say, now you need to go, and then go and do PR spin and say, oh yeah, he was going to offer to lower the blow, because thinking, what the hell is going on? To say, oh yeah, he was bringing Southgate. He was begging for Southgate. No, he was talking about people like Thomas Frank. He was mentioning people like Iraola. He was looking at people who are in the Premier League. And say,
but Nuruddin, let's be honest here. Ashraf sacking was not because of this. Clearly, they've been going back and forth over loads of different things, because what was said was that in terms of the atmosphere there, he just wasn't compatible. It seemed like he didn't see eye to eye with the people there over multiple things. It wouldn't be over one thing that a man gets sacked for, bro.
No, 100%. It's never just one thing, but it adds to it. It adds to the type of decision that they were going to make.
Even Ten Hag came out saying, I'm really close with Dan Ashraf. We built a good relationship and that. And it's like, what?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, what? With Ten Hag, bro, leave, man. Like, I'm not trying to hear that. You know, if you can be friends with Ten Hag,
he was the only one. But Brad, we can't just say leave when he was the only person in the adult in the room saying, unless you're changing the whole of squad, this guy's not compatible, and you shouldn't be bringing in a guy who wants to play this mad formation, who's not Premier League proven, who's never proved it in this country, and that is the aspect of it. Yes, personally, what you think of Dan Ashworth, 100%, you think he's rubbish, he's whatever.
No, but a broken clock is right twice a day.
No, but
he was right about Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, the fact also has to remain that these people do not know what they're doing. They do not. Mistake after mistake.
They've just got a bad appointment.
But everyone makes mistakes, bro. Nuruddin, everyone makes mistakes. Newcastle fans.
But you can't make.
I've had Newcastle fans angry at me, saying that Ashworth sold fucking Anderson to Nottingham Forest. Shouldn't have sold him. Like everyone makes mistakes.
No,
like,
listen,
everyone.
no. They're waffling, by the way. They're waffling because
everyone makes mistakes.
Players. Listen,
let me ask you a question, Nuruddin. Can you not get a managerial appointment wrong?
Listen, the Dan Anderson thing, it was a club-to-club thing where they were doing something, selling each other certain players to lessen the blow, to beat what they're called.
But there's no buyback clause or nothing.
No, there isn't, because
then that's a big L. That's a big L.
Do you remember at the time? Listen, do you remember at the time where they were? It's the what's it called? FFP rules.
Yeah.
It was Aston Villa, Newcastle.
I remember.
Forest, all of them were doing a merry-go-round, selling young development players, that youth players, out of their academies to each other, and he was just the next guy to go.
I remember, but the thing is, Anderson's now going to go for 50 or 60 million, yeah. And guess what? Newcastle probably ain't even got a sell on. They're not going to get no money from that.
No, nothing. That's what I'm saying. It's one of the worst mistakes ever.
But listen, that's
it's a big
one mistake. Manchester United, we've made.
But I'm saying Ashworth's probably made loads of mistakes, bro. So just because Barada's made one, that doesn't mean Ashworth should have stayed, bro. I'm happy with Wilcox.
Omar Barada, and I always said Omar Barada, when I looked into him, he's a guy who talked about football, but had nothing to do with football. It was all about
he's a finance guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So and the proof is in the pudding. He's done his job.
He's not that. Listen, he is not the guy to be going and bringing coach from another league.
100%. You're correct.
That's the biggest error, and that's cost us now.
You're correct. We're back
there, and that's a huge. Don't try to underplay what it is. It's a huge. That's why we're.
No, I agree.
Now,
he doesn't. No, but
you should be sacked. For me, you should be sacked because you ain't no football guy. You got rid of the footballing guy.
Yeah, but the non-footballing stuff, he's hitting it out the park.
Got a guy that you don't know nothing about.
But can I quickly? Let me quickly say something, please. Yeah, Tex. Just to go back to your initial point, because I'm trying to remember not to over talk and stuff people. Yeah, so I'm writing things down now. When we were talking about the young players, you said Martial. Martial does not count for a young player because when we acquired him, he was touted as one of Europe's best talents. And if I remember correctly, there was even like a Ballon d'Or clause in his the purchase of him. Yeah.
Yeah, the purchase.
Yeah. So was Ahmad.
Yeah,
but he played one professional season before that, right?
But so was Ahmad.
So was Ahmad.
The only reason why I'm mentioning this is because he went on stream before, he was rebuttaling to a point that I was saying about young players at United, didn't it? Yeah. So I'm trying to make a clear distinction of certain players. Jesse Lingard, I hear it, he's from the youth academy, but when he broke through, it wasn't like he was underage to break him through. It was kind of like, if he didn't break through now, he had to go. Rashford as well, you said that you didn't really hear anything about when he broke onto the scene. If you remember correctly, under Van Gaal, we had a mass injury crisis, and he got put on the night before. And if I remember correctly, he had like 6 months left on his contract, and they were thinking about just letting him go.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah, he wasn't doing nothing, so he had to just take a chance. So he was an anomaly in terms of young players. I'm just making a clear distinction. And then going back to my original point when I was talking about when Klopp and Pep first came, I already spoke about Klopp and I said they're the team he inherited. Yeah, when we're talking about Pep, just to let you know, because Rand said, he spent money on wing backs and blah blah blah. Joe Hart.
Goalkeeper, I mentioned.
He got one straight away after a couple of first year. He brought in Ederson. Then he spent £50 million on John Stones, £50 million Mendy, £50 million on Walker. That's £150 million just on wing backs. Then Laporte came in the following season. Then you got Silva from Monaco, and you got Sane as well from Schalke. And then the left backs and the right backs that he had, Clichy, Sagna, and Angelillo or whatever. They all got scrapped. So things when people go, but Pep, but thingy. This happened in a space of 3 years where I can show you a mass exodus of players that was at that club before they came.
But do you know what happened before that? Pep's guys from Barca went there before him and made sure that when he got there, they were going to clear things out and do things for him. That was that is a situation that you won't see nowhere else, bro.
On top though, 1 minute. You see, Amorim has no excuses. It's like, see some of the excuses that or the leeway that we give other managers. Some of the arguments are okay for someone like Ten Hag. They're okay for Oli. They're okay for Jose. Amorim has totally lost any point where you can give him an argument because he's done so bad with what he's got. We're talking like we understand when a manager comes in, he's going to need a certain amount of players to come in to do his thing. But that doesn't mean you crash out. He crashed out. the problem with Amin, he crashed out. We're talking about a manager who's just got the worst record in any manager that we've had in the Premier League. You can't defend him because the problem is that Amorim, like my thing is this, even if you didn't give Amorim a penny, for a whole season, he has no right to finish 15th.
No right.
Why did they keep him? Why did they keep him? Why did they?
They made a mistake. They made a mistake.
Why?
It's the time to rectify their mistake now.
No, it's not. Why keep him? Let me Fourth mistake, Saeed. Fourth mistake.
To Musa, like I said, two things to be right at the same time. I am not here doing Sakir Starmer trying to defend Amorim. If you want him to go, no worries at all. You won't hear me doing defense. I've already made my bed.
So what's all this research then about what he's got and what he hasn't got then?
This is what I'm getting to it now.
About the club, Saeed.
But I'm saying to you is though, there is literally nothing for this manager that you can look at. Yeah, go on.
He's talking about the players. He's saying the players are not good.
Yeah,
enough.
but I agree. We understand.
That's a myth.
That's a myth. Saeed, let me land the plane, please.
Okay, go on, land the point.
I'm trying to articulate it peacefully rather than just like shout. There's a deeper analysis that you have to look. If the manager's not good enough, that is one thing, fine. But you have to look at the infrastructure above him, the machine. You can't just keep saying the manager is crashed out. The manager's made a mistake. The managers, they can make mistakes. The people above them, though, how many?
I agree.
Are going to make? You should have sacked Ten Hag when you should after the FA Cup.
I agree.
I agree. 300 million, You then don't waste our summer chasing individuals to get them into your infrastructure just to get rid of them again and spend more money. You then got a manager who's our club's never played system type of schematic football over back five, back three, whatever. You chased him, you got him, and you didn't back him completely. I don't care what anyone told you, didn't back him completely. And now he's stuck into his laurels. He won't switch up. You've then backed him again when we finished 15th, our second worst finish ever in our history. You didn't get rid of him at the end of the season. What did you do? You don't want to go spend more money on him. And now
I don't think they spent money on him though. This is where you're getting it wrong. Like these players fit into any manager's system.
The players that are being acquired,
it's the club.
They fit United regardless of the manager. I hear you.
Yeah, they're club signings.
But the way I'm looking at this, because when we do the argument about did he get back to, did he not? People will say the manager got back. They spent money on him. So I'm including this now as well. So they've spent excess amount of money on him again. Yeah. Why is it that these people can continuously make mistakes and it's only the players or the manager that get looked at? At some point, I don't care if you're doing 1, 2, 3 good things. You're costing the club too much money and you're setting us back further and further. People's job deserve to get P45. We have to start looking at them as well.
But bro, you see,
I understand that,
but the way I see it is in life, everybody makes mistakes, innit? There's no owners that ain't made mistakes.
Right.
There's no players or managers that ain't made mistakes. Like, I'm not here to sit here and count how many mistakes everyone's made because it's pointless. All I know is, the way we're set up right now, this is probably the best that we've been set up, like football-wise, for any manager to come in now and actually be successful if they're a decent manager. Because when I look at the players we got at our disposal, when I look at where the contracts are, stuff like Cass leaving, they're going to invest in the midfield for sure. Even the way the finances are set up, we can go and spend 200 million Jan if we want.
Yeah,
that's where we are. We ain't been in this position for a long time, bro. There's a lot of shit that we've been through under the Glazers, that these men have overturned in 18 months. And now we can actually go out and spend money. So factually, we can go out and spend money. It's not my opinion. It's factual.
Yeah, I think if we look at the ownership of the club, and all of that stuff, everybody agrees it's long, it's dead, it's not what we want. Facts. But there's different battles. That's a whole different battle. The problem that we have here is this.
You know the amount of managers. You know the amount of managers. You know the amount of managers.
You know why you have to divorce the two.
Crazy.
You know why?
Let's keep it football though. Do you know the amount of managers?
The season started.
You know the amount of managers in the league that will be looking at Mbumo, Cunha, fucking Xerxes.
You know why I divorced the two as well,
Euro.
Do you know why
look at his squad.
Yeah, but you know why I also separate the two rants? Because for everyone that doesn't want INEOS and the Glazers, which is everyone, if United start winning the league and that, what does that mean? We want them now because we're not separating the two. When you say you don't separate the two, what does that mean? So my thing is that if you don't, my thing is this though, Noridi. Listen, my thing is this, Noridi. No, my thing is this though, Noridi. No, 1 minute, though. Let me finish. Then you can go in. One sec.
Let me answer the point.
Okay, go on.
I'll answer the point. I have always said we won despite of them because we had a genius in charge. A guy, the best.
Yeah, Fergie, I'll give you that. I'll give you Fergie.
That's what I've always said.
So if you want, that's my point though, Noridi.
And then when he left, and when Musa, when he left, the evidence was on my side. Because all shit fell apart. And now,
no, but that's my point though.
Behind INEOS,
that's his point.
No, but that's my point. My point is that
or in sport where they've been successful, they've shown nowhere. There is nothing any of you can bring to.
But that's my point though, Noridi. No, but that's my point. No, that's my point though, Noridi. My point is this: that if you want them out, whether they're successful or not, then you got to separate the two. The reality is there's nothing they're ever going to do that's going to allow us to want them in. So let's separate it, throw that to the side, and let's deal with the football. The football, let's deal with the football because even if they win us the Prem and the Champions League, it's not going to stop you from saying you want them out. So then let's not hold on to the football when they're doing bad if we can't hold on to it when they're doing good. So my thing is leave it. We all agree. But the reality is, like Rand said, is that the way we are now and how we're set up, Amorim has flopped himself because he's really in a position where if he was actually playing ball and he had actually just bought himself some time, we're not talking about winning the league or finishing second, just being in the top 4, Amorim would have actually bought himself enough time to have this setup actually going and getting 2 new midfielders in the next window.
The most stable, Musa. This is the most stable as a football club in terms of how we're set up that we've been post Fergie. Like we have a football, we have people dealing with football day-to-day running of the club for the first time. Like Musa, like Nuruddin said, only 3 managers have won shit. Bro, this club was never set up for modern football. It wasn't. Now it is. Do you know what I'm saying? And they've done it in 18 months, bro. So it's one of them things where this is the best that we've ever going to be in terms of a manager coming in, and we've got a director of football now. We've got someone separate to deal with the other stuff. We've got our scouting system that are working with everything together because it wasn't that before. Before Fergie was sending his sons and
signings have been right as well.
And how they pull those 3 strikers, nobody here is in doubt that these men will go out and go and get 3 midfielders. No one's in doubt, but they're on that.
I am in doubt because that's right. What you're doing right now is disingenuous, and you're putting out nefarious statements right now. Because
they got 3 attackers in the last window. They got 3 defenders in the window before.
Right. The reason why I'm saying what I'm saying now, and thank God that Leon's joined at the bottom, is because he was on stream last time when I said this in pre-season, and we're also in a group with Kaz. I said this as well. You're buying 2 10s and a striker, and
Mbumo's not a 10.
What do you say, sorry?
Mbumo's not a 10. He's being used as a 10, but he's not a 10.
He's an attacker.
He's 3 forwards. Let's say 3 forwards then. 3 forwards. 3 forwards.
Said 3 forwards. Because Cunha's a forward as well.
Yeah.
You're buying a forward player when, for how long have we known we need to resolve the goalkeeper is an issue? The midfield is an issue. It's all well and good saying now Casemiro.
But he's dealt with the goalkeeper.
Wait. It's all well and good now saying Casemiro is leaving at the end of the season, but I've known for over a year and a bit now that he should not be starting for us. He's not reliable across the whole season. I've also known for over a year and 2 years Maguire should not be here. I've also known Luke Shaw shouldn't be here.
Guys, we're missing the point, man.
The replacements that you brought in is a kid from South America, and you brought in Patrick Dorgu. Then I also know that Lowe's not been good enough since we've loaned him out into AC Milan.
Okay.
Wait. Rance was on stream saying this. When we loaned him out to AC Milan, he came back. Rance said cash in. I'll go find his stream. He said cash in. We didn't cash in. Now we're relying on a bipolar right back.
I definitely said that. However, Mazraoui's better than him, so he should be back up to Mazraoui.
This is why I get lectures, because the same way, Saeed, you don't like being not gaslit, but the way you like no one should tell you how to feel after a football match is like what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Like you're trying to force me to talk to speak.
Now, bro, all the things that you're upset about, I'm upset about. However, I'm compartmentalizing the situation.
Yeah, in different ways.
The players that you don't think should be here, I agree. I even said in pre-season, that in an ideal world, I would get Estupinian or something like that as a starting left wing back, and Dorgu would be his understudy. I don't think Dorgu should be starting. I don't. However, if he was starting as a fullback in his actual position, I wouldn't have an issue with him because he's good enough with the other 3 players, for us to be winning games, bro. Even though I don't think that he is the top tier of what Man United
but he can take you to that next level before that.
Yeah, he's not going to be the guy that I want to be starting in the Champions League. However, we're just trying to get
that, to be fair. He's a young player. We don't know.
Yeah, but I think Rance's point is like for what we've got. Anyway, carry on, Rance. Go on.
Yeah, I think that Dorgu can play at left back in a team that finishes in a European place.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to see him starting in the Champions League because I want a more experienced left back that's a bit more consistent and a bit more refined. However, I don't think he's an issue.
Product.
Before you come in, Estrella, can I break down your point? Because you keep talking about signings, what we haven't got, what's still here. But are we not seeing that the signings that have been brought in are not working under this manager? So you go say we need another midfielder. What's another midfielder going to do under this manager? We're going to struggle anyway.
This manager
you're going to get Belabor. So all of you are saying signing. Hold on a minute. You keep saying signings, what we haven't bought, what's still there. The manager that's been brought in right here is failing with everything that's been brought in. So we are struggling with signings. Without signings, it's still a struggle, bro. So that you can clearly see. That's why, for me, my aim is on getting rid of the manager, bro. Yeah, you can talk about structure. You can talk about this player here, that guy there. But ultimately, the manager is failing at every single level, bro. It's him, bro. There's no complex kind of debate here, man.
Wait, since I've been speaking, I haven't said keep the manager, you know. If you remember...
No, but I know, but the way you're kind of going about it, you're saying midfielder.
Because what Rance just said, there's players here that take us to the next level. I don't think we have a top 6, top 7 team. I don't think we're better.
Oh, we do, bro.
Wait, Rance, I don't think we have if you go through it strategically, let's go through it, I don't think we have a better team than Tottenham. We might have better individuals, but not team. Because Tottenham have a better backline than us. They definitely have a better midfield than us. And
but they've got the same problems that we've got. No. You're gonna gas this Tottenham team that played that was same position than us.
We got better team than Tottenham, bro.
Tottenham have a better.
Come on, man. Come on, yo, man.
Wait, Saeed. Tottenham have a better keeper than us. Their backline, they doesn't even match ours. Don't try it.
Vicario, are you gassing up Vicario?
Bro, Ten Hag's team finished third, bro. Ten Hag's team finished third, bro.
Van der Ven and Romero.
I'll give you Van der Ven and Romero. Cool.
They're a good centre-back partnership, but we haven't seen Euro and De Ligt together. We haven't seen
these things, bro.
This is why I said they have a better team. Not in the.
Would you take that midfield ahead of us? Hold on.
Yeah, but you're saying they have a better team now, but they finished below us last season.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say.
Oh, come on, man.
Bro, they finished below us last season. They have a better manager than us.
They have. That's it. Simple.
Mm-hmm. They have a better manager than us, bro. I'll be real. Like, when I'm looking at these teams, when I'm looking at these teams, we have some quality players, and we're not even getting 50% out of these players.
50.
None of them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not getting 50% out of none of these guys, bro. Like, at the end of the day,
you back the players who bought this waste, man. You're backing the people who bought him here.
Brother, it's not about backing the people. It's about it's not about backing the people. I don't know why there's no nuance to the argument. You can't see certain things man are doing right and certain things man are doing wrong. It's these men have done everything wrong. They haven't done everything wrong, Nuruddin. That's why Nuruddin they've done wrong. There's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with. I would have sacked this manager after the Tottenham game. That's the latest I would have sacked him. You man know me, I would have sacked him in the middle of the season because I was done with Amorim time ago.
Yeah. Facts.
But the reality is
about
saying get this spray out of here before it was fashionable. I remember looking at me.
The reality is the reality is though, Amorim might not even last 12 months. So it shows you that the leadership here, if you don't do the job, they will get rid of you. The reality is this guy might not last 12 months in the job. As much as we want him gone, it's because he's come halfway through a season. But when you look at it, that there's a massive opportunity that or reality that Amorim might not last like a full season in the job in terms of 38 games. He actually might not last it. So it's like it's showing you that these men are prepared to get rid of, get people out the job, whether it's Ashworth, whether it's Amorim. Like if things go wrong, the structure is there to get people out and replace them in the same positions that we've been crying out for the longest. whether it's the sporting guy or the person that's dealing with the players. Like Wilcox, if Wilcox has 2 or 3 seasons, it doesn't work. We know he's gone. It is what it is. And someone else will step into that position.
You know what, Musa? You know what?
Bell's doing what he needs to do behind the scenes. That's fine, yeah. Oh, thank God Faz is here. He needs to bring us up on some charges. I ain't spoke to you in a minute. Yeah, for Bell's here for what he needs to be here for. That's fine. But all I'm saying is this. Like I said, this is why I said I'm not ignorant. What Rance is saying is true. You can compartmentalize what is going on and be emotionally stable in terms of what you're seeing on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah.
I am fine with that. Yeah. But I just want the same energy shared across the board. If you're saying that the manager is not good enough of what he's getting out of, I agree with you. 110%. Can we be playing better football? Can we be higher? Yes, we can with what we've got. 110%. But the decisions, the poor man management of certain things that are still continuing on is like a perpetual cycle of bad decisions that are fostering more negative things to impact.
But it's not worse than any other club, though. It's not worse than any other club. See, the reality is, when you look at it, it's not really worse than Chelsea. It's not worse than City. It's not worse than anything.
Chelsea been sacking managers.
Yeah, but Chelsea been making bare mistakes as well. And they just
selling
keep
players,
spending, bro. But they've been making bare mistakes as well. They've had like four or five different managers under the new owner.
What hides that? What hides that,
they
guys?
brought in players and sold them the same season.
Their recruitment is nowhere not like Manchester United, so don't even try that, people.
What?
They always got players. I've always got money to buy players. They always get money for selling players.
Nuruddin, one of their windows, they signed João Felix, Jadon Sancho, and Neto. 2 of those players are no longer there. And that was the same season, bro.
No, Neto's still there.
They always sign
exactly. 2 of the 3 are not at the club no more.
They always sell and buy ballers.
People can make mistakes, bro. At the end of the day,
Jackson was putting up mad numbers for them. They've sold him and got Delap in, and now Delap's injured, and everyone's looking around. What's going on? People make mistakes.
That's not a mistake. That's not a
You
mistake.
got to remember though.
How can that not be a mistake? Look at the numbers. How can you let Jackson go?
They brought in Gittins, ain't better than Jackson.
Come on.
But you got to like Chelsea's recruitment has been amazing though, guys, man. It's not been amazing.
I'm not just talking about their recruitment. At the end of the day, yeah, it takes time to get anything to work, bro. It takes anything to work. INEOS have been here for 18 months, yeah? And man are pulling them up for charges for shit that's happened 6 years ago. I'm only talking about the last 18 months. I don't really care about anything that's happened before that because we didn't have a footballing structure before the 18 months. So I'm sticking to the 18 months. They've done some good things. I hate the timing. I hate the timing of the sacking of Ten Hag.
Noradine, you said it yourself.
And I hate the fact that Amorim's still here because I would have sacked him at the very latest after the Spurs game. I couldn't fucking believe that he was still here.
I agree. You know, but Noradine, you said it yourself as well that INEOS's biggest mistake is that they didn't buy the whole club. Had they bought the whole club, you'd have a different conversation for them. So you know that.
Yes.
But you know the situation.
So that means you got to give them leeway because the whole club went up for sale.
Because they're facilitating for fucking Glazers to go and put up a fucking tent.
Everybody was crying. No, but I'm with you. But everybody was crying about our training ground. They went and slapped 50 M's on there. Now we got one of the best training grounds in the world.
No one's talking about it.
Always, Musa, with INEOS coming in or not, that development was already going to take place.
No way. Don't lie. What did you say? They said they had to spend money on the training ground. Did you not say that?
I don't reckon he spent his own money on that.
Bro, he spent his money, bro.
That was Ratcliffe's own money.
The money that he gave to the club, the 300 million he had to give, was part of
his own 50 mil from under his sofa.
Yeah, that was his own money.
That was part of the
club. We can never be satisfied.
That was his own money, Nordy.
That was the 28% clause.
No, it wasn't. I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Let me finish. Right, let me finish because that's
let me finish. He's back.
Let me finish. Right.
After this, I want to hear from Leon after this. Yeah.
I'll speak calmly. One of the biggest things, I'll speak calmly, right? Because people say, "Oh, my headphones." Well, turn it fucking down then, right?
This guy's putting in 240 challenges.
Listen, I'll try to be rational as I can. So please, if you interrupt me, ADHD takes over, and I lose it. One of the biggest things for anybody who was going to give them the investment the Glazers needed was that you were going to buy whatever percentage that you were going to buy. With that, you had to also bring in. It was part of the deal. If you don't believe me, please go and read the articles about the what's the word you used?
No, you're correct, Nuruddin. You're correct. You're correct.
Part of the 300 million was also to be part of the infrastructure, and it actually helped the Glazers and helped United in terms of the finances.
Glazers never had the money to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. No, they had
So if Jim didn't put his money in, there was no fucking training ground.
No rants, please. You're wrong. You know why you're wrong?
You see when Chelsea sold the club,
Please let me just finish explaining it. You just interjected me and said they have the fucking money, but they don't want to use their money.
They don't have the money.
But they would never have done it then. They would never have done it then.
They are asset-rich owners, bro.
They were the only club in the Premier League where the owners are siphoning money from the club without putting in. Majority of owners who own football clubs lose money, and they put their own money in.
Nuruddin, they're asset-rich. They own multiple sports teams. It's assets, bro. This is how rich people do it. They use one asset as collateral to get more assets. This is what they do. They don't spend their own money. They never spend their own money.
1 to 2. What the club has made, not their own money.
Smart people don't spend their own money.
They were siphoning on for themselves.
They spend the bank's money.
Jim Glazer, so go back to what your point is. He's facilitating the pillaging and the rape of Manchester United, and that's the fact. That's why. Anybody could have bought this fucking football club, but I don't want anybody facilitating them for the damage that they've done.
Chelsea. I think there was a clause in there that the new owner had to spend a certain amount of money.
Yeah, there was. 100%. And they also had anti-Glazer.
It was like a bit 1 point something billion or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, 2 billion. 2 billion is what they could have spent. 2 billion is what they could have spent.
That's it. So yes, there was a clause in there, Nuruddin. You're 100% right. But Jim still had to spend his own money. He didn't take out a loan for that 50 mil. That was his own money. That's the point I'm saying.
But no, it was part of the deal.
It was, but he still spent his own money. It doesn't matter why.
Listen, I understand that. But what Musso said was factually wrong, and you could go and look it up.
But it's his money, though.
Yeah, it's his money.
Without his money, that doesn't happen.
Glazers should have done that. So he's facilitating Glazers.
Of course,
no, he's facilitating a football club that he owns a percentage of. This ain't about the Glazers. He owns part of that football club, so of course he wants it to do well because he has ownership.
Yeah.
Just because you don't own 100% of something doesn't mean you don't own it, bro. That's not how business works. You could give me 1% of Apple. I'll say that, yo, like I'm a part owner of Apple, blood. Like 1%.
Yeah. Let me get what's for you. Let me get Leon.
You got your Apple stocks, innit?
Yeah, he's got my United stock. This guy's the biggest enabled Glazer you got here.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm ashamed of you, Strella. I'm ashamed of you.
Hold on. But you agree with him. You agree with him. Let me. One second, guys. Guys, we've got 3.4K in the building. Please hit the like button, guys. Let's get these likes up, people. Leon and then Faz will come in. Leon, you come in and then Faz. Go on, Leon.
Yeah, I've got to go in 5 anyway. But yeah, listen, big up the Mandem. It's always a good show. Do you know what I mean? I come into the madness. Yeah, I think Nuruddin's not 100% wrong in regards to they are allowing the Glazers
Leon,
to hide behind that smoke screen.
Tyrone is not here. We're not having any light-skinned fencer in today. No light-skinned fencer in today. Just know that. I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
Say it with your chest.
God. I
got it. I'm happy. This
I was on your first touch. I was on your first touch.
Shout out the light-skinned people, man. Yo, listen, not all the light-skinned guys out on the fences. So, yo, Nuruddin, make that clear. You know what I'm saying?
Nuruddin just said, rip the Band-Aid off, man. Fuck it. You don't know.
Hey,
let's go, Leon, let's go.
Do you know what? He done the first 2 foot, and then he got away with the yellow in it, and then he's gone in again, man. Do you know what I mean? He's on a mad he's on a Roy Keane vibe. It's crazy. Yeah. I feel like for me, the way I see it is very simple. Like the Jim buying the club. So if we go back to the Glazers, the Glazers were basically saying buy the club for an extortionate fee or become a part owner. That was the choices, because if not, we would have been Saudi owned now, right? Do you know what I mean? They wanted extortionate money in that.
Qataris,
and Qatari, and the Qataris guys said we don't want to pay that much. So obviously with Jim coming in, he still allows them to hide behind and to siphon off money. There's elements of what he's saying there, and I get it. Obviously, no one's debating that no one wants Glazers here, right? It's not a single person. But we kind of have to look at the club for what it is right now. And what they're doing is they've made some poor choices in regards to manager, but they've done some good stuff. Like I've not seen signings like this since they've been here for a while. Like they've done smart business, they've not overspent, they've completely changed the wage structure. It's completely changed. By the end of this season, it will just drop massively. But with the managers, they're kind of simping. It's like holding on to a girl that's no good for you for too long, man, because you don't think you can get another thing. They're just. Do you know what I mean? They're just holding on to these managers for no reason, innit? All your brethren are telling you, yo, it's not the one, innit? And then you're just there like, oh, but she's. Do you know what I mean? She's. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I feel like sometimes I get it, Nuruddin, but we got to kind of look at what it is right now, and the manager's not achieving. What Estrella's saying is true as well about like some of the players are not good enough, but there's too many that are good enough for us to achieve a higher position. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I come on saying that every single week. So yeah, I feel like we just need to win more games, play better football, and we need this manager out, guys, like ASAP. Do you know what I mean? So I feel for you, Saeed, because you still think like you're still holding on to this top 4, top 5 thing, innit? You think like if another
but that should be the aim, bro. It should be the aim. And why should I let go of my ambition this season for a manager that isn't good enough? Why should I do that? Why should any of you do that, bro? Like, it's not good enough, bro. So when Jim Ratcliffe says, yo, this squad should be aiming for top 5, he's right. Why is he wrong? Why is he wrong for thinking that? But obviously, his words and his action are not aligning. So therefore, we've got every right to kind of hold him accountable, because you're saying these things, but then you're not putting it into account. So that's why now the proof will be in the pudding in the next couple of games. Is it Chelsea? Is it going to be I don't know what's after that. Brentford.
Next 5 games is Chelsea, Brentford.
It shouldn't be all 5 games. It should be Chelsea game. If you lose, gone.
By the way, Man United are actively looking. Man United are actively looking for new managers. Anyone that thinks that these guys are not actively looking for new managers have lost their mind.
I agree. I agree. They definitely are. There's no smoke without fire.
Oh, by the way, I don't want to hear, Estrada, just before you say something, I don't want to hear any more from people saying about, oh, but who would we get? And come on, bro. There's like 20, 30 managers in the world that do better. Look at where we are right now.
Like, I hate that argument, man.
Like, look at where we are when this guy.
True at the same time, Leon. That actually our squad is imbalanced. Our squad is lacking certain depth in certain crucial areas.
Then I would ask you the question.
The guy's not been good enough. I never wanted this guy. I actually feel sorry for him. Been thrown in the deep end.
But Nuruddin, this is what you have to understand.
I don't think our squad's imbalanced. I don't think our squad's imbalanced, Nuruddin. I just think our squad doesn't suit what the manager's trying to do with it. I don't think it's imbalanced.
I think
the system is all wrong.
The squad is imbalanced. The midfield is a massive hole.
No, that's the structural problem. That's not a personnel problem. You can't tell me Hughes and them man are better than our midfielders at Palace.
They're not.
Yep.
You know, factually, what Nuruddin's saying about the imbalance is not correct, but it has to be heard. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the interview he had with Gary Neville, everyone go watch this with Sky Sports. He said out of his own mouth, full verbatim, that Amorim is doing. If I'm paraphrasing, is doing well considering the current situation of affairs. There's a large proportion of this squad that are not.
That was 2 windows ago.
Wait, he said.
Not only was that 2 windows ago, but he also said financially, a lot of our better players that are on the bigger wages are not performing at that level.
Yeah.
Like he said that our wage bill, the guys that are playing week in, week out, pretty much, like the wage bill's outside the top 6 or something. I mean, he was doing all this financial shit. Yeah. I'm looking at it like this, like with the players you've got, there's good managers out there that can build a system, to get the best out of at least 12 or 13 out of this squad, and we're smoking teams. Man can't tell me that Alex Iwobi centre mid is better than our midfielders.
You
can't tell me that.
Fulham.
You know what I'm saying? We should be smoking Fulham, but
this is where we look at. You know what the fans want,
No, but he's not a meaty player. But come on, bro.
Leon finished.
You know what the fans say.
The system is making man look better than he is.
Exactly. It's interesting what you said there, Rance. You know why? Because fans want a long-term manager since Fergie. But how can we trust somebody that they can't do the most with the tools? Because there's going to be times where we win stuff, then we need to rebuild, and then we win stuff, and then we need to rebuild. There's no trust here. There's zero trust here. Zero.
Point I've actually heard from anyone talking about this manager. That's fair enough.
There's always going to be good times at any club.
You said it the other day. What did you say? 31 points in 31 games.
Yeah, 31 points in 31 games.
This is crazy.
Like Fergie didn't always have good times. There were times where there were players in the squad that we signed and they weren't good enough, and we needed to move them on. And in that meantime, he still had to perform at a certain level, and he did, bro. Course, and good coaches always do that, even if there's a few man. Because there's bare signings he made that were trash, but we don't remember them.
Yeah,
because he kept the standards up.
Yeah, Leon, that's
every manager.
I can't lie, because I'm actually now reevaluating certain things. That's a very good point. Because if everybody wants to do this, this renaissance with Fergie, you have to kind of show be able to adapt, because how many times have these good players or good individuals and he managed to redo it again year after year?
Bro,
So, like,
who wants to play a sport where you win 1 game in 10 and you get smacked up for 9 games? And then
it's
you
crazy.
win 1 title and then you have 9 bad years. Who wants to support that?
Fergie famous quote is there. Listen, the Fergie famous quote is there for the reason that good managers come into big clubs or a club, you have to buy time.
Yeah.
Amorim is not about buying time, but also the club and him agreed that this is the way he was going to play, and they supported him, and that's why we finished the lowest we did. But other than
they agreed on style, but they didn't agree on results, nor did.
No, they supported that because they didn't sack him after that final. Like Tottenham sacked the guy who won. It's the you don't need it to be anything just consistent. Like the guy that won got sacked because they were like 16th or 17th is unacceptable, right? For them, this is Spurs, right? And we've kept the guy and gone, the guy who's got hardly any experience at this level. Managing the club size of Manchester United, who's got an assistant who is 31 years old. You know,
but that's all on Beretta. That's all on Beretta.
I don't buy into all this young assistant.
Listen, let me say this.
Look at the guy at Tottenham, man. How old is the guy at Tottenham? How old is the guy at Tottenham? How old is the guy at Tottenham? Does anyone know how old he is?
Let me just finish, please. Let me just finish, because you cut me off mid-sentence. For all the experience that Pep Guardiola had, winning trebles and did what he did at Barcelona, doing what he did at Bayern Munich, he came in. The number 2 was Brian Kidd. A guy who knew who was Fergie's number 2 for a long, long time. Who knew his way around the league. Right?
We had McPhelan.
Right? Yeah, we had McPhelan, Steve McLaren.
They weren't good enough, were they? Were they good enough?
Were
they good enough?
Saeed, that's number 2. Saeed, that's number 2s they were. Because certain coaches, they just can't handle the pressure of being number 1. But they're very good number 2s. They're very good number 2s.
I don't think it's about age.
Saeed, it's not about age. I'm just saying to you the level of experience in the fucking game. It's not about that. It's about the level of experience and the support that you have. So he's a 40-year-old and he's looking to a 31-year-old who's not had that much experience going around coaching and managing other big clubs. No, he hasn't. So that's the point what I'm making at the age. The age in a certain thing is level down to experience. It's about where your experience is. Pep Guardiola, what did he have when he got the treble? He had the Spanish guy or the Argentina, I don't know what it was, the old man that he's always whispering to, because they have coached and they've seen things and they can help and advise. And number 2 is crucial. And Fergie proved that to us. You know why Fergie proved that to us? Because every number 2 he had, he always leveled up. You know why? And Fergie gave certain man the job. They had to go work on a certain structure, and then the team was balling out. And if he didn't like what you were doing, went and got you out and got somebody else who can do the job that he wants. So number 2s matter. All I'm saying to you is that Manchester United have bought in Amorim and his coaches, some of these people who have never coached at this level, at the level of scrutiny at this level of football. They know Portugal football. We don't need to know Portugal. They all know it, right? That's what they can do. Here, we can't just go, it's all on Amorim, because the next coach comes in. Are we going to say it's all on him again? No, it's not. We cannot say that. No, it's not all.
No, it is.
And that's what Estrela's talking about. We have to portion the blame equally.
No,
I agree.
It's not all on Amorim, but it is because he's the manager. At the end of the day,
exactly, man. Managers manage.
And
he's not a manager. He's the coach. By the way, he's the first team coach.
Before Faz talks, so Faz needs to speak. Yeah, is that whole number 2 thing you just said? I think is a bit disingenuous. Just because when Steve McLaren was here, when all these other people were still here, when Ten Hag was here, he was in his here to tell him, if you get rid of David De Gea, do you know how long it took us to find a number 1 goalkeeper? We've been here for more than 3-4 years. We need to sort out the midfield. The number 2 should have been informing the previous predecessors here of what players and what things needed at the club, and that didn't happen. And they were here for under the crap that's happened in the last 3-4 years. So I don't believe in that. All of that stuff.
Also a club thing. Estrella. The thing is there. The parallel is there. As Manchester United midfield throughout the years is not being addressed, right? The shit that Manchester United have got. We won a cup here, we won a Europa League here, we won a League Cup here, we won a couple of FA Cups here. But in terms of the league standing, we've dropped. That is in fact, that's a coloration. And that's the football club. That is the football club choosing to not to address a crucial part of it.
Yeah. I think my major red flag with INEOS is the fact that like every director or every sort of, you know, hierarchy will always have board meetings with management. So with Ruben Amorim. Now, I don't know what Amorim's targets are, his KPIs are, but clearly he's nowhere near hitting them. Nowhere near hitting them. And he's had a very, very long time. We're talking about 8 wins in 8 months. The guy's nowhere near hitting his targets. And it was the same thing with Ten Hag. The only thing that probably, obviously, you know, papered over the cracks was the fact that he won the FA Cup. So that may be one KPI that he's ticked off, a domestic trophy. But apart from that, it's like we take too long to sack these managers. I feel like INEOS don't have a backbone when it comes to managers, but they have a backbone when it comes to everything else. Whether it's
that's their problem.
Staff or
I agree with that. I think we all agree with that.
So I think if they were to keep that same energy when it comes to management, then things could be different because it's clear.
But that's why we have to allow them to get their first appointment wrong, yeah? Hold on a minute before everyone starts shouting, yeah? Hold on a minute. It's their first appointment. That's why you almost got to give them that grace. You feel me? Like, I get it, yeah? Listen, look
it's less than the season.
The point that I mentioned,
I can't make a point without people making faces, bro. Relax yourself.
Saeed, you're right. Saeed's right. Saeed's right. It's less than the season. It's less than the season. Like, as much as we all want him out, it's less than the season.
How am I, bro? Hold on.
Back up dancing, Musa. Stop the back up dancing. Stop the back up dancing.
Bro, let me land my point. You haven't said it. Listen to me.
Less than a year. He's been in a job.
Yeah, this is why my thing is, listen to me, I'm telling you right now that they have absolutely made a horrendous decision to go and keep in Eric Ten Hag. But I'm talking about their appointment, right? This is their first appointment. For me, the longer they keep Amorim, will reflect on them. But in terms of their first appointment, we can make a list, right? Okay, cool. If they've sacked, let's say, for example, 3 managers in, let's say, 18 months to maybe 2 years, you could look at it and think, yo, this is a bit very, very bad right now. But this is their first appointment. This is a bad appointment. But you can't. No, hold a minute. You can't say, you can't say that they weren't. No, hold a minute. You can't say they're not allowed to sack their manager because INEOS have this and that and the other. They're gonna sack. Everyone sacks, bro. Bayern Munich have sacked managers. Juventus sack managers. Every football. Are we alienated? Why am I United so alienated? Man United don't sack managers. Broski, we had a manager like Fergie who was the best we've ever seen in our whole lifetime, right? And cool, it was an anomaly. But right now, are we going on like we're different to other clubs? We can't sack managers?
How many games is Amorim had in the Prem?
30, is it 31?
That's what I'm saying. He's had less than 1 full Prem season. You can't say that somebody that's had less than 1 full season that the club's scared to sack him. It's not even a season yet. This is why I feel like I get it.
Of course, look where we are, bro.
Wait. Eric Ten Hag was their first signing. Eric Ten Hag was their first signing.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
He was. Tech, you know what I'm talking about.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, Mandem, listen to this. I'm saying I get it that we all want the manager sacked, so do I. But at the same time, for somebody, if someone says to me, hold on, the man that you lot are crying out for me to sack, I haven't even given him a full season yet. If I sack him in and around that,
you don't need, bro. That's my point.
No, but my thing is this. Listen, no, my thing is this though. You know what it is? You have to understand, because I reckon Barada made the appointment. Barada is backing his man. Jim Ratcliffe has said it. He's getting people in position to make footballing decisions. So this is sticking on Barada. I'm not going to blame Jim Ratcliffe for this because he told us, I'm not making these footballing decisions. I'm going to go and get people in who are good at their job, put them in these positions to do the job. So now, on one hand, it's like, go on, Jim. You've appointed someone to do something, but guess what? Override their decision and sack someone anyway, and then it's like, what's the point of having someone doing the job in the first place?
I can't just blame one person in the firm, bro. I got to blame the whole firm, bro.
Listen to this. If I own the shop and you're my manager and you do recruitment, and I come in and you've recruited 2 or 3 men, and they're meant to be the serious people, If I come in and you're my manager, you've recruited him, and you're saying, listen, I've been watching him for a long time. He's the real deal, whatever. When he starts moving left, I'm gonna tap you on the shoulder and say, yeah, you sure? Like, trust me, I've got this. I know what he's doing. There has to be a level of leeway. And I'm saying that leeway, as much as I want it to be now, hasn't exerted that limit yet, because it's not a full year. With like most managers get a year. I do get. Go on.
Look at Man City owner, bro. Your shop's no longer getting customers.
No, but what I'm saying is this, Mandem. I agree with you, but I'm saying is this. If we set a precedence here of sacking a manager, which is not an issue, but if we sack a manager, if we sack a manager in less than 38 games in the league, which is a Prem season, next season we'll have those that want a manager sacked will have the right to say sack him again within 20 games. Because if you're giving people less than a year, then what's stopping you from sacking the next manager in 6 months?
Again, you're going to look at the projection, bro. As the hierarchy, you're going to look at his projection. His projection is going beneath the ground, bro. He would have finished 17th. If the season started when he come, we will be 17th right now. So if you look at his projection, nothing's changed.
I'm with you. He's got to go.
This season,
he's not my bridging. That's Faz's bridging. He's not my bridging.
Faz is staying quiet. I don't know why Faz is quiet.
Bro, it looks, do you know what's so funny? Do you know what's so funny? Yeah? When he first came in, you could see a little something. Maybe the first 2-3 games. We have not seen that ever since, bro. Not even this season. That is my point, bro. Nothing has got better at all. He has to go. It's as simple as that. It's based off evidence, bro.
Okay,
it's just based off evidence.
Listen, I just want to reply to one big thing.
And then let Faz come in here as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Right. Big up Faz. Musa said, and by the way, all of you watching, and Musa as well, get your Google on, pal. I need you to go and type in the direct relationship between Amorim and Jim, the Rat Glazer. They're that much in contact. He's sensing memes, and he's sensing things, and he's sensing presence, and then Amorim swears, voice notes him, and starts swearing. That's what the merchants, the athletic people are reporting 4-5 times in different conversation, different articles, that the relationship, that actually some people are actually worried that Jim is actually more of a handsome, that he is saying, forget his hierarchy that he built in terms of the CEO. He's going direct to the coach and direct to the people at Old Trafford and talking to them personally. So that, Mr. Noma, that is the fact. If you don't believe me, go and believe it. Google it. Google memes and WhatsApp conversations and direct conversations.
I didn't say you ain't got Amorim's number. I just said he put someone in position.
Exactly.
But the point, what I'm saying to you, Amorim is on record saying, he asked me about certain things, what I have done, what I've done, and I have to explain it to him. So he's not going up the chain of command in the corporate settings.
You think Jim knew who Amorim was before this? You think Jim knew who he was?
Well, Omar Barada bought him, but now they have a relationship. There is a relationship. And they're out there that Jim is actually talks to him and sends him means and sends him precedents. Go and read it. Go and look at any of you.
Okay, let's get Faz in. Faz is Amorim in, by the way, just to give everyone context, for those that are watching right now. Yeah, Faz, what are you saying, bro? You good, yeah?
I want to fact check Musa. He said when Jim Ratcliffe spoke about his mistake with Gary Neville, since then there's been 2 windows. That's factually incorrect. It's only been 1 window. I just want
When did he speak to him? So it was before January, last January when we got dogged.
It was in May.
Yes, 2 windows.
No, sir.
So it was after the doggy window?
Yes, sir.
I don't believe that. Show me the receipts.
If you go on YouTube.com and you look at the interview, it was done 6 months ago. Since then, we have had 1 window.
Yeah, no, Fez is right. It was early this year.
10th of March, 2025.
Yeah.
Okay, state your point. State your point.
Yeah, state your point. Yeah.
Just the Mandem show has become. I think the Mandem show need HMRC. I think
I'm gonna bring him on.
Because another point that Musa made is if we sack a manager before 38 games, it gives the outers a right to say manager out next season. So let me give you another piece of factual information before Ruben Amorim came in. Funnily enough, the entire fan base who was Erik ten Hag out, including Musa,
Yeah.
He wanted a back three to stop leaking the goals, protect the goalkeeper, and that was his sentiment even when Ruben was in.
Bring the receipts, boss. Bring the receipts, Matthew. Bring
Me?
the receipts.
Well, you're still crying.
I never supported the signing of Ruben. I never knew who this guy was before he even came there.
You were in the.
I wanted De Zerbi.
You were in the no. You were in the camp of changing whatever mythical system Erik ten Hag was playing. Is that correct or no?
Of course, I was in the camp of that.
Yeah, but not to a back three though. Not to a back three though.
You don't talk. You don't.
I didn't even want my man that flipping coaches. I didn't even want the England manager because he plays the back three. When man was telling me bring the England manager.
You do
what are you talking about?
We know.
I just wanted to change.
You are the biggest shameless fan going. You change your.
But he's still not made a point, by the way. He's made a point yet. He's made a point yet. Go on then.
Patient.
Go on.
You all, whether you were De Zerbi or this, that, the other, you wanted the system to change. You didn't like the 3-1-6 under Eric, who played a system that you guys were not aware of. You wanted a manager, funnily enough, whoever that was, who sticks to their philosophy. You wanted a manager who you can identify at least. You wanted someone who you can identify with. Funnily enough, you couldn't identify shit with Ruud van Nistelrooy, but all of a sudden, from the small they should have kept him. Give him the entirety of the season.
Not me, but go on.
I wanted Van Nistelrooy until the end of the season because I didn't believe in bringing in a manager halfway through.
If the topi fits, you wear it, you do your rakat, you do your namaz. Simple. If it don't fit, topi. The other thing, yeah? No. You wanted a different system and you wanted continuity in your starting lineup and your.
Of course, we wanted a different system, but we didn't call for a different formation. There's a difference between formation and system. Don't play games about.
You wanted, on top of that. Funny, what I find funny is now that you've got a manager who plays a system that you don't like, who plays a continuous football that you don't like, we don't get results. You want to go back to the shit that you actually got rid of. Oh, let's go back to a 4-3-3. How about, have you not discussed that the entire squad has been built to play a back three, plain and simple? Whether you get rid of this guy
I disagree with that.
I disagree with that.
Stop right there. No problem. You bought a seed to plant and cultivate in the middle of winter when the soil was frozen. You've seen a little bit of glimpse. Texino's on my wavelength. You've seen a little bit of glimpse come summertime, and he's the boy. Man don't cross, man don't pass.
Oh, here we go. Agendas.
He's a physical specimen because he's whatever height.
He's talking about doggy. He's talking about doggy.
Yeah. I can hear it. Go on.
I'm still not hearing his own point.
Apparently he can play in a back four. Okay, cool. Apparently he can play in a back four.
Shameless.
No problem.
Shameless.
No, it's true though. It's true. Okay.
Come on, join me, lads. Shame.
Shame.
Okay.
If you have no shame, do as you please. If you got no shame, do as you please.
You are the Manchester United manager. You have to now accommodate Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, a crying Kobe Mino, Cunha, Mbeumo, and
Maresca's done it.
I'm not even mentioning Isco. Accommodate me these 6 players on one game a week.
Strella's holding bare bullets for you.
Just let him finish.
Accommodate me these 6 players and don't cry when Mason Mount plays wing back against Grimsby. Don't be crying. Accommodate me. You lot wanted this system. You lot wanted the players.
No, hold on a minute. We didn't want the hold on a minute. Listen, hold on a minute. First of all, my point of Amorim was never here nor there. And the Straight Jacket podcast is a witness of that. It came as a shock to us. First of all, you can want something, but then when you know it's going wrong, you might not want that anymore. So we can have the right, and hold on a minute, the stats show and the results show that this clearly isn't working. So by you right now, by you saying all of this, you wanted this, you wanted that. Nobody wanted these results. Nobody wanted this, the record that we have since World War II to be the lowest percentage in terms of results. No one wanted this, bro. So at the end of the day, what you seeing from what we were talking about, cool. It was a manager that was on the up maybe, and he had a record at Sporting, whatever. But at the same time, bro, it has failed, bro. And a sign of a good person, is to understand, when it's going wrong, you call it out. But for you, my friend, Faz, I don't know what you're on, but this ain't it, bro. You know he ain't it. So why are you trusting? Hold on a minute. Why are you trusting this process, bro? What are you seeing? Hold on a minute. What are you seeing from this manager?
Did you make when you
what
were
are you
watching
saying?
the Portuguese league? What analysis did you make when you were watching the Portuguese league and you were excited to think that a back three manager is going to work?
I wasn't excited. I was excited
because he's either young.
How's his gaslighting us?
He's
Faz was at the gaslighting us. He was at the EDL march. He was at the EDL march, Faz. He was there. He was at the EDL march. He was one of those guys gaslighting us at the EDL march. One of us telling us to get out. He was one of us telling us to get out.
Let him finish.
He's finished, bro, man. He's finished trolling. That's what he's done. He's finished trolling.
It's not trolling. You're
trolling.
What are you doing when you call him Tesco? And now he's your striker.
Brother. That was because he was going to Arsenal. Brother, you know the context behind that. You know the context. The context was he was going to Arsenal, and that's why. That's why I called him Tesco.
So
here it is.
That's why
here it is.
Sometimes we forget we're football fans, man.
That's what I'm saying to you, man.
So what does that tell you?
What tells you? What it tells you? Hold on a minute. What it tells you is how we felt before is not the same how we feel right now.
Meaning you are unstable. You are unstable.
So hold on a minute.
Apparently he's got
you're saying we're not right to feel like the way we're feeling right now. Is that what you're trying to say?
Hold on. If Jimmy said that him sacking Eric late was a big mistake, he said that on record. He's not sacked him in September international break.
Yeah, and he's wrong. He's wrong for that.
Spurs game. He ain't sacked him after the Spurs game. He ain't sacked him in September international break.
Yeah.
What faith do you think, or what mythical freaking thoughts that you have that you think he's gonna sack him in October break? And apparently you heard that he's got 3 games. So if it only takes 3 games in 3 weeks for all of the fucking Man United fan base to turn around, then why the fuck are you not sitting here crying about the manager?
What do you mean? That's wrong though. Again, oh my god, go on, Estrella.
Wait, before I speak, read the super chats because I'm compartmentalizing what I'm going to say to this guy. Please.
Okay, cool. Let me read the super chats.
You are crying that the results are not going your way, and whilst looking that the mistakes that are being made on the pitch are not majority Amorim's fault.
Wow.
Oh, you're doing the Rio Ferdinand thing, man.
Yeah, man, this guy is crazy.
You're doing the Rio Ferdinand
yo,
thing,
man.
Bro. And you see, Rio's changing. He's changing his market himself, but he knows he's getting paid from INEOS. It's a different ball game.
Of course, a different ball game for Rio, man.
However, guys are still putting up thumbnails saying, "Look, Amorim, it's not embarrassing to change your system." I've even mentioned that on the previous shows before. There's nothing wrong with changing your system. The guy's doing everything to back his manager. But at the end of the day, guys, the proof is in the pudding. He is saying that, I will rather drop off a cliff. I'll rather die with my system before, I change anything anything changes at Manchester United. It's as simple as that. Like, how does that make any sense, bro? You got to get rid of something.
No, I like that because if men didn't have this sort of confidence within themselves, we would never have KFC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
The new hairline's got you feeling different, man.
I'm gonna read super chats here. He's lost his mind, man. I don't know what's going on.
Did you go to Portugal by any chance?
I have not. Because it was funny that when Eric Ten Hag changed his system 2 games in because he shot himself, people sat there in the second season saying, "Damn, why the fuck did he change his system 2 games in? He should have stuck to this. What he's doing in second season, he should have done it in the first season."
That's one good point.
I love managers showing their badges.
The fact that he's sticking to his system and dying by the sword is what you all asked, and you lot should be like, you know what? Let's actually see
who's you
instead of us trying to do.
Yeah, who's you?
The villagers trying to do the CEO's job. Let's actually call out the CEO for not sacking him after saying that they made a mistake keeping Eric for so long.
No, I hear that. That's the point I kind of made earlier. No, you're right.
What you're doing, you're seeing the game, you're seeing the individual errors, yet you're pinning it on the guy that actually stuck by the whole philosophy and what he promised you.
2 things don't make a right, man. That's all I'm going to say. Let me get these super chats said. Who do you guys face in Europe this week? If you lose to Chelsea, sack him, forget 3 games. Except Euro, does anyone start for Arsenal second defense? Big up Reem says the club needs surgery, major surgery. Change their manager is putting their brain a bandage on a crack. Also, nothing will change. Band-aid Also, nothing will change until you get 2 midfielders. Bruno is a 10 playing him deep is like what playing like with 1 midfielder. Big up Tariq says Saeed and Nuruddin knows I'm an LFC fan and also a big KM fan, and I'll take him to LFC in a heartbeat. If a manager can't have a place for such a player in his team, that's a big red flag on that manager's CV. Would you take Southgate over Amorim? Abdelaziz says INEOS and Glazer same mess. And clueless bottle Bruno Sale, bottle is Ten Hag sacking. Still back in the worst United boss since of 1940s. INEOS out. Michael Real says bottom right Master Waffler. I don't know what happened there, man. I don't think it's Texino, man. It might be someone else.
It weren't man.
Yeah, it weren't him. Yeah, I don't know who was in the formation beforehand. Aslan says, "Good like Nuruddin."
I actually went and checked it back.
Yeah. People like Nuruddin think they can insult my intelligence on INEOS. They're much better than the Glazers, but they have messed up on a manager situation. Sujay says that the reality is INEOS set a KPI to get top 4, so the team is driven at least to achieve a European spot. That's just how business works. Estrella for the main host of the Waffle podcast, Saeed and the Faz co-hosts. Knowledge that our biggest managerial problem is we keep getting managers who don't know how to read the game or make changes during the game. Amrin does the same, pre-planned subs and tactics is so predictable. Saeed, but mainly Nuruddin, after today's financial statements, you guys are too big to fail financially, which is bad for you guys, not going to lie. Abdelaziz says Faz became what he slated Marcel for. Ten Hag thinks truth is Amrin is the worst United coach since the 1940s. That's facts. Faz backing him proves he's concussed and not qualified. Wow. That is a big statement there, man. They're saying that you have become the new Marcel, which is mad. Yeah, and also, I think I read that one as well. Big up Rhino as well.
Listen, I want to come in before I've chilled for a bit. Saeed, you made a statement which is factually incorrect. You said Ruben Amorim is their first guy. No, Eric Ten Hag was Saeed. Eric Ten Hag was the biggest
first appointment I'm talking about.
Yes, they gave Eric Ten Hag a new contract.
That's a contract, no, that's not appointment, no.
Saeed, they improved his contract. I'm sorry. That was their first hire because when you come into a place as the people in charge of the football, you
would argue that was but you would argue that was after a trophy. So you would say, you know what, they had a leg to stand on. No, hold on a minute. They had a leg to stand on, you would argue to some fans who wrote petition. There was a lot of things there you would argue.
No,
okay, cool.
because
hold on a minute. Let me land, bro. Let me land. There was an argument, not my argument. There was an argument to say
that happened. You land after me when I land.
Because you're waffling, bro. You're waffling.
No, you're waffling. You're waffling.
Why say how could you land before I land?
Remember the guy we spoke about.
I was to land there before I've even opened. You don't got the seats
your statement's factually correct as well.
No, it's not. Because we talk about it. What did Strella say? What did Tuxedo say? What did we all agree on? We agreed the INEOS have got the first decision they got wrong was Eric Ten Hag. Are we all agreed on that? Yes or no?
Facts. We agree with that.
There we go. So for you to say Amorim is the first, no, the first decision they made, Tech, and you know what I'm talking about, bro, was Amorim. They dilly-dallied on whether to sack him or not to sack him, visiting him in Ibiza, flying here, flying there. No. And the biggest thing none of you can ever tell me is show me any data or any facts where INEOS in sports have triumphant. You can't.
Okay, Nuruddin, wait. Saeed, check please. Saeed, I've waited patiently. Can I interject?
Yeah, go for it.
Parliamentary procedures. Remember at the end of the last stream we all down, we said we're going to be doing control of the mics and stuff, yeah? Please. Because this cool. Faz, been a long time. I haven't seen you in a while, man. I'm not going to try and troll you. Because obviously, the last time I spoke to you, I believe you was on your weight loss journey. I think you're supposed to get down to like 75, 73 kg. Hopefully, you made it. You're looking good. Charges about Dalot, we need to speak about. Because, no. We need to speak about this because out your own mouth is almost as bad as our host right here saying Harry Beckenbauer. You wanted to give the captain to this guy. And I said this time ago, yeah, he's a scrub and he needs to go. You made a video. So I've been doing my research.
Well, sorry, Estrella. Can I just clarify what you said? You said that he wanted Daniel captain, yeah? Is that true?
He said Daniel had the minerals. He was the only individual in this team that he believed that had the minerals, yeah, to be captain.
I need a break.
Okay.
Hey, it's the training videos.
Wait. Dallo, he made the video 7 months ago and said, I've had enough of Dallo. So I want to know what his opinions are on that. Secondly, he made a video on Casemiro 10 months ago, said, do not sell him. I need to know. I need to know what's going on. I need to know. Yeah. And another video you made 6 months ago on your channel, shout out Faz's Planet. You said 6 months ago, the manager is failing. And fast forward 6 months again, he's still failing. So I need to know what your position is on those points I've made, please. Thank you.
Very fair. And I will address them individually one by one. Let's start from back to front. The manager is failing. And that is a factual piece of information that I cannot sugarcoat anyway. But what I'm going to say is the manager is not failing according to his own reasoning. It is not. He is not failing by conducting things that he can change. He has done things what everybody expected of him, and the results are not coming. That's just simply as what it is. Sometimes we're one shot away from winning a game. Sometimes we're 3 passes, mistakes away from losing a game. That's just what it is. It's in front of you. We all watch it every week, but we blame him for everything because he picks the team. And even when he picks the team based on whatever he's got available, he makes a mistake, because we lost the game. So yeah, at the end of the day, overall, from an eagle-eye perspective, he's failing. But when you really zoom in and slow things down, I don't think he's actually failing. He's got a lot of people out that needed to go out, and he's managed the squad really, really well based on the constraints he's got. Not one manager, not one scientist, mythical scientist, Glasner, Frank, or whatever, would have done anything different. The only thing that could have possibly been different is maybe the odd scammy result. But actually teaching the squad a system, a cultural shift would not have happened. That is the fundamental fact. That is the fundamental.
How is it a fact? How's it a fact?
I'll tell you how it's a fact. I'll tell you how it's a fact. You know how Eric dealt with Sanch. You know how Eric dealt with, for example, Cass, and Eric dealt with Varane and all of these things. But since Amorim has come in, anybody who has had any form of negative impact on the squad has been dealt with in the utmost professional manner without too much media turmoil behind it. And that is true compared to Eric Ten Hag's era. That is true.
It's true, Faz. Wait, because I'll let you speak. That can be true, but that's not an exoneration of the poor and crap stuff that I've seen in the last 6 months. You're saying he's got rid of players. Again, I love this debate. Thank you, Saeed, for letting me on your platform. Who has he gotten rid of other than Garnacho? Because in my eyes, Rashford's been loaned out, can still come back, because we've seen that with Sancho. It's like, did you see what I done? Because you can definitely come back. Rasmus Højlund, his option to or obligation to buy. Technically speaking, if they don't want to, he can still come back. Majority of the players that are saying that we've got rid of, they've been loaned out. They haven't been permanent sales. So no one has been sold other than Garnacho. The cultural shift that you're saying, leaks are still coming out again, saying that, they don't believe in the system. Some of the players are disengaged. So all of these things that you're saying is still not addressing the video you done on him failing about everyone in this chat expected him to do what he done. I didn't expect to finish 15th. I didn't expect to be still seeing crap football again. Yeah.
Facts.
And not solidarity in the team. As much as I'm in defense of the manager and the situation, I didn't expect to see any of that stuff. You have to address the Delo situation and the Casemiro one as well. The video that you put on your channel on public platforms say don't sell him. I need to know why.
I'll get to that. So firstly, you said about he's failing and the results are not working or whatever. You know, it's not showing because he's got 8 wins out of 30 odd games and whatever. It's not a good result, and that's fair and that's fine. You said
I'm not mentioning stats, guys. I'm not mentioning facts.
I'll mention it. You said a lot of the players are loan deals and whatever. Firstly, that's not his responsibility to negotiate who goes on loan and who goes permanent. Secondly, the fact that he's accommodated a winter project brought from a club that we've never heard of and decided to manage him so that the wage structure can be accommodated to, which also, is not his fault or his reasoning for him to get these results, but he's accommodated it. And yet you want to bypass that because you simply want 3 points on any given week. And I get it. Fair enough. You want 3 points. And if he beats Chelsea, the temperature cools down a little bit. That's just how it is. But let me tell you one thing. Every single one of you who are Amorim out, you simply want an ibuprofen. And it doesn't actually help you deal with the pain. It doesn't. Muscle injury, brain injury, whatever you want to call it. You want an ibuprofen, you want a cocodamol.
So you don't treat yourself then. So what do you do? You don't treat yourself.
But ibuprofen helps me, bro.
Hold on. You don't want to do the.
So what do you do then? What do you do then?
That's the first.
Do you neglect? Do you neglect yourself then?
Hold on. The second thing he said about Casemiro, why I said that about Casemiro, Manchester United, firstly, I'm glad they did not buy another midfielder. If I'm not mistaken, apart from the Saudi League, the top leagues in Europe, Manchester United pay the most money out of everyone on their midfielders per game. Not week, per game. They pay the most. And that's because we play one game a week. We don't have Europe or domestic cup this half of the season. We pay the most amount of money. And considering how much money we pay, Casemiro visually is our best. Statistically, at one point last season, he was also our top scorer. Was it last season or the season before? He was also our top scorer. Our problems would have been much, much easier to solve if we had the player that could run, that could score goals, that could jump, that could tackle. But you guys didn't want him, and you guys couldn't replace him. All of a sudden now, Baleba, everybody's on Baleba. But Casemiro, passing-wise, tackling-wise, leadership-wise, he's the best in our team. And that is just visually true.
Cool.
That's visually true.
Can I respond, Faz? Cool. What you just said about the ibuprofen, to a degree, I agree with you. A lot of United fans want instant gratification and can't deal with reality. So I understand that point. That's one thing. Let me address the Casemiro situation. He's a 6. Factually, I'm not incorrect. He's a 6. I said to Saeed, Kaz, and a few others, even Rhino, I said we could have sorted out our midfield issues with less than 60 million. We could have got Paulina and we could have got Douglas Luiz, both with options with loan to buy. And if they didn't work out, we could have sent them back.
Yep.
And we could have purchased them for combined under 50 million pounds. Yeah. Those, I believe, would have enabled us to progress forward in the short term. Whether or not people want to believe in them or not, those would have been effective signings in midfield. Cool. Casemiro, you're saying factually, has been our best midfielder. Visually, I've watched games of this guy doing jogger bonito in midfield with his belly sticking out. Constantly, when he's getting pressed, he's doing last ditch slide challenges, and it's like a massive gaping hole in midfield. And everyone forgets these things because he might do the odd ping or the odd pass where it looks good on the eye, but really he's leaving so much space and gaps in midfield, and the between defense and midfield is just distortionate. So factually, visually, in my eyes, he's not been good enough, and he's on 350k a week. So to me, again, I don't know how anybody can say or be in defense saying that he needs to stay here.
Okay,
let me
I'll explain. No, I will explain.
Yeah, quickly explain it then.
Firstly, it's not Amorim's fault what wage he's on. That's just what it is. Secondly, the priorities of midfield didn't come before the priorities of getting rid of the freaking negative players in the 10s, the Rashfords, because, and again, these things, you know, Amorim cannot control as well. Rashford going to a PE class and saying he wants to leave, Amorim cannot control. Garnacho going and uploading whatever things he can't control. Now, if the forward players behaved themselves and kept it cool and could play to the system and didn't moan and cry and binge, maybe the club could have shifted their priorities into midfield and said, do exactly what you said. Get a Douglas Luiz, maybe a Rabiot, maybe whoever else. Amorim's biggest mistake isn't actually the system. His biggest mistake isn't that he can't get a win. His biggest mistake is believing in Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes. Because funnily enough, put one more player in the midfield, put a 3 in the midfield instead of the 2. Wow. Manchester United problems are solved. There's not
but that's him.
But that's him, though. That's what I'm saying to you.
This is what I'm
Mandem.
owning up to. But you cannot tell me that one player in the midfield, just out of the 2, just putting one extra player in midfield solves all of the
it does. It just solves a lot. Let me get Rhino's.
Comes in.
Hold on a minute. Let me get Rhino's opinion before we wrap up, man. Rhino, come on. Let's have your say, man.
Wait. Before Rhino talks, double back to Faz on that Delol thing. I need to.
No, we will. I think we're gonna leave that for another week. But Rhino, come and have your say, bro.
Yeah. What's good, Mandem, man? Yeah, man, guys, man. We are in a situation where I can kind of see where everyone's coming from, innit? At the end of the day, I can see the only thing let me set straight. The only thing I can't see is extra reason to keep Ruben. But other than that, I can see why a lot of people are like conflicted with what's the problem and what we need to focus on. Some people are saying it's the players. Some people are saying it's the team selection. Some people are blaming INEOS. Whatever. Cool. One thing we can say is these results are not good, innit? And this whole myth of doing this Alex Ferguson thing is not. We're not in that era no more. Like Arteta is probably the last gaffer that stayed a long time and progressed to a degree. No one wants to follow that model no more. And I feel like right now we just need to try and fix what we can within what makes sense. Obviously, I'm more on INEOS now. You know, I'm happy with the summer window, but at the same time, there's a lot of decisions they need to make that they're not making. Hence, I think it was Texino that made a point. Earlier on, you were saying that basically when it comes to managers, that's like one of their shortcomings. But what you lot debated earlier about their first appointment, whatever, I think that's an interesting conversation. But facts is, it wasn't their first appointment. They didn't go and do the research. They didn't hire him. Yes, their first major decision in managerial decision to keep Ten Hag. You get me? But so
they gave him a contract extension.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's still a big thing. That's still a big thing. But I think you're still missing out the recruitment part. What you're saying is right, and to a degree. My man's gone blank.
No,
what you're saying is right to a degree, but at the same time, it's like, does the context matter? Like, it's still a wrong decision, regardless of it, Saeed. So as much as Nuruddin's right, like as much as it's not their appointment, they still made a major decision.
I mean, they did.
You feel me?
We shouldn't allow them to make a mistake and then now rectify it.
Yeah, this is where I'm at. Like, that's what I was going to ask you, Nuruddin. This is my question to you. Yeah. Is there anything that they can do to make you happy? And I'm going to ask you one more question with that, because you said bring Believer in and you actually get giddy. So can you?
That's what I'm saying.
So
it's mad. He says he's going to get his shades on. He says he's going to get his shades on if you get Believer.
So, would you ever? Is there any room for you to give positivity, or are you still going to be so upset regardless of the fact because of the whole Glazers connection and whatever? Is there any way they can actually make you think, okay, you know what, I can give these guys a bit of credit?
I know for a fact, I can say very confidently that INEOS are happy with him. They're very happy with him.
With Ruben.
Okay. He's just not got the results.
Okay.
The players are making the question.
You said I'm an insider.
Not you. I'm not even starting the plane to land it, and now you've gone on. You've gone on before me.
He's running the runway. He's stopped the plane.
Stop it, man. You missed the flight. He's missed the flight. Get the next one. I'll be back for you. Don't worry. The biggest thing what I said is just because, let me just say this to you. I was a midfield player. I played Saturday, Sunday league. And the reason why I fell in love with Manchester United and the way my favourite players always played in around the midfield. They played in that type of position. Like Tech knows I know football. Everybody knows we all know football. That is the position. I rate Believer as a fantastic player. So whether Amorim stays or not, he's going to be here for whatever, right? So that's what I said. My biggest thing about them is that if they would have bought it out, I promise you, and I said it to Saeed then, even if I didn't like INEOS and I prefer the Qatar deal, I said, whoever buys the club, I'm going to give them an opportunity. But once they went into bed with Glazers, and the Glazers had the plans to build a stadium in 2018, Rhino. I'm a geek when it comes to Glazonomics. I'm a geek, bro. He's got me reading financial reports after I finish work today before I come on here. I'm reading. I don't know what these things mean. Streller might have to break it down to because he studied those things, right?
Yeah.
But I promise you, if they were full control of the football club, my patience would be that because I look at it, I think Glazer's been here for 20 years. They mess whatever up. I would be less to say here where I can give the grace. But when they give it the Glazers to stay here in my club for another 20 to 30 years, I'm pissed off. And you don't care whether it was Jim, whether it was the Elliott Group, whether it was his other these finance firms in the New York Stock Exchange. It don't matter. I got nothing personal to Jim. I don't know the guy, right? I don't want to know the guy. I don't know Dodgy Dave. I don't know Blanc. I don't know Omar Potato Head. Yeah, I catch him in one of these shisha places. Yeah? I don't go, but I'll catch him if I hear. I've told them all. If Barada comes in, call me straight away. I've told them all. All the shisha places in Manchester. I say it, and I say it simple right now. I can't give them any because they're fundamentally, there is no track record of INEOS involvement in sport whether it's motorsport, whether it's boat racing, whether it's Nice, that they have made successful decisions. And the amateur way they came in, kept Eric Ten Hag, and we all know he was done out here. Even if he won a trophy, the way they recruited Dan Ashworth and got rid of him, the way that they've gone and tripled down. How come I've got 2 coaching badges right now? And I made a video on my channel. I promise you, go and check it out. And said Ruben Amorim, danger people. He's another guy who vacates the midfield, and I don't know.
I would like to factually correct Nurdin that INEOS are very successful in other sports.
Yeah, exactly. But he don't.
So, let me even ask you a question, Saeed, though. But let me just even ask
last question
question
for the wrap up.
Let me answer your question, Saeed. Where I'm at right now, I just think obviously it needs to be important that we find the right person as well. But I think Ruben's time's up, man. I've given him enough sample size. I'm just very disappointed in his stubbornness, man. Like when we start these games and you see the lineup, you're thinking you're already annoyed. Then you see how this team starts to play, then you get a bit of false confidence for a bit. You think, all right, cool, maybe he might be onto something. And then you start to resort to see the same things. At the end of the day, I'm more on the management than the players. I'll be honest. The players play a good point. They play a good part. You know, Mbeumo needs to do better. Like, Ahmad hasn't started the season too great. So we see all of that. But at the end of the day, I used the Niger yesterday. And it goes back to the garden. If I tell you to cut grass and I give you clippers and I give you scissors and I give you a knife, I'm going to expect you to use the clippers. And Ruben's using the knife to cut grass.
Yeah.
Yes, he wants a lawnmower, but for now, you've only got clippers, scissors, and a knife, and you're using the knife, bro. Yeah. So I can't be.
Rhino, we agree. Rhino, we agree.
You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it still. So he needs to. Yeah,
Rhino,
he needs to go now, or at least adjust his system. Put a 3 in there, 5 at the back, 5-3-2 or something.
Rhino, listen. The only thing that for me, and I think Strella might support this, and Pat slightly might support this, is that here we go again, another year, another coach, and we're all saying it's the coach. Everything's on the coach.
And next year, here we go. We keep here we go until we get it right. Yes,
because that's what I'm saying.
But
you get it right.
No, because we want to have a new conversation. The NEOS conversation is players. The squad is still in balance. Certain players are not good enough, and the management team and the board have also made mistakes. We can say those things. 4 things can be right at the same time.
But I think all teams make mistakes as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Rhino, what you're saying now, I agree with you and Saeed when he goes, you just keep going till you get it right. Get it right.
Within reason, obviously. Within reason,
in normal circumstances, because those other teams that have done that, they have a structure, they have previous history.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They recruit better than Manchester United.
Wait. They have systematical things that have already been in place to kind of alleviate that pressure if you're going to keep sacking. At United, we're still building that infrastructure, get people
and we're doing it all at once. That's what's mad. We're doing it all at once.
So when you do sack the manager, these people are still building, and it's like you're gonna keep sacking the managers, and the things are still going wrong on the side as well. So all I'm saying is this: I'm not saying I'm in, I'm not saying him out. I've already said I'll give it 10 to 15 games in the Premier League before I start opening my mouth and saying anything. But my thing is the same way you're looking at this side, you have to look at this side as well.
Of course.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let me get this last super chat. Ash says any manager that could not make room for Manu in style level is not a manager, and I'm LFC fan. Anyway, Champions League starts to got to go. Big up to you, Saeed. Listen, we're gonna wrap up now, people. Make sure you lot are following United Road Therapy. Make sure
I'll be live at 10 o'clock. I'll be live at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Cool.
Come on.
Big up to Estrella. Big up to Rhino. Big up to Flaz. Big up to Big Zeno, man. Make sure you're following everyone. Like I said, man, I might even get HMRC, the one on for all of you guys, man.
Saeed as well,
Don't do that, Saeed.
I followed my man yesterday. He comes with the receipts.
You'll have a huge bill to pay, Saeed.
Brother, don't worry, man. Don't worry. I've got it.
Do you know what it is, Quick one, guys. I got some. So obviously, I've been working with an artist. Loads of things have been happening. Messi actually put up a post. So we did something for Messi's new Mass Plus thing. So go on his page. And you're going to see my producers and my artists. We've made an actual song for his advert. And he's posted it as well. It's nearly on 20 M's views. It's crazy.
We're going to get Messi.
So it's a mad moment. The GOAT Messi, you feel me?
I want to congratulate you.
Them in a false 9.
I'm not a Messi fan, so I can't.
Wow,
Messi's fans.
He's not a Messi fan, but he's an Amorim fan.
Oh no, but he's a Dano fan. It's calm. I hear it.
Obrigado. Thank you. Right? On that note,
he's on the obrigado money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff of the word, mate. Amorim, protect the protection. That's why.
It's crazy.
But yeah, big up though.
Brigado,
Big up to Messi
Big
and the
up,
Mass
man.
Plus guys, man. Big up, man.
Yeah, Messi.
Because obviously
Messi
we're
and the
doing some
Mandem
work
talk.
with Adidas in it, so we kind of knew it was for
Messi on the
Messi's
Mandem
thing.
talk.
But the fact that he's posted it and that is crazy. So just wanted you guys to check it out, man. It's
Yeah,
epic. Still.
real
Epic,
talk, man. Big up, man. Big up to you. Big up to everyone winning, man. All the Mandem are winning.
Smash the
We're all
likes,
winning.
people, man.
Smash the likes, man. We're out, man. Champions League, man. We're not watching it.
Wait. Chelsea game. Prediction, quick.
Oh, quickly.
3-1 Bayern.
No, I think you mean United,
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Game on the weekend.
I think we'll lose still, or we draw, lose or draw still.
2-2.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. If we concede, we're gonna lose.
Brother, he's never gonna win, bro. What are you asking prediction for, man? Brother, Faz, no point, man.
Did you hear the crowd singing that as well? I was kind of shocked. They were singing Ruben Amorim still.
This is why.
Bro, there's a remix.
Hold on.
There's a
Let me
remix,
just
bro.
finish this. When
why.
HMRC comes, I'm going to absolutely abolish all of you because you said when I said Chelsea's we can beat Chelsea, you cussed me out last stream. But then in the match